What's up? Are we live? What's up, everyone? It's your boy Tyler. We are live with another episode of Draw and Talk. Guys, if you guys notice, I've been posting more content. I'm more active on the Twitters. I'm trying to get more back into the content game. I've got like 2 or 3 videos coming out this week. I posted 2 videos last week. Some of those videos got me into some drama, but it don't matter. But today we have a really awesome guest. I've known this creator for a really long time. I hear myself. I found it. All right. I've known the guest that we have today on for like, gosh, it's got to be like at least 7 years at this point. So you know, I, I'll have to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure it's like around 6 to 7 years. And yeah, we're gonna have a great conversation. The topics that we're gonna be hitting on, hopefully we can hit on all of them. Are comics as art versus comics as content. The next one is the illusion of social media's influence in the comic book industry. And then number 3, biggest personal regrets in comics. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a great time. I'm gonna do my one shill real quick. Do you like how my shill isn't even showing up on the freaking screen because I wasn't prepared to shill? Evidently, shilling is bad. Evidently, shilling is a form of grift. That's what I've learned today. That if you shill your projects, you are essentially a grifter. Um, so that's what I am. I am a professional grifter, and I think I'm going to continue grifting the fuck out of you guys. But My Sexy Witch Academia is currently live on the Kickstarters. Chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, dude, if that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. If we had gone 5, that would have been a screenshot moment. But yeah, go check out the campaign if you want to. I'm very happy with where it's going. We have 18 more days to go. But yeah, okay. All right, guys. Let's get into the topics because my wife is like, Tyler, I've been working a lot. I'm under a lot of stress at work. Your boy's now on Xanax, so that's fun. Not. So yeah, work's been intense, and I've been told to rest more. Alex Miller says, respond to the haters with AI, Tyler. That's what I should do. I should just use the AI avatar I created of myself and just program it with like responses. So like Chat GPT will just like come up with responses, create AI avatar, and be like, you're gay or something like that. We got Massive Panda in the house. You guys are all using your different screen names today. So I'm like, who are these people? But you guys are all using your own different screen names. But I recognize the icons. Massive Panda saying grifter is such an overused word, just like sellout. Yeah, dude, like seriously, anyone who uses grifter on me and tourists, I'm like, dude, you're just gay at this point. All right, guys. We don't want to talk. We don't want to drink the haterade. We want to be drinking Liquid Death and Diet Coke. Let's get on our guest. So I gotta switch this out. Let me switch this to interview section. And let's get in our guest, Nandor. Nandor, welcome to the show.
Hey Tyler, how are you, man?
Good. And chat, make sure that if you can't hear Nandor, tell me. Or if you can't hear me, tell me. But yeah, we want to make sure that we hear Nandor. And I was saying, like, Nandor, we've known each other for a pretty long time, I think.
Yeah. I think you and I are kind of still one of those OG indie creators that like kind of came up around, I don't know, like 2019, like 2020, something like that. And maybe even a little bit before, but yeah, we've known each other for a long time, and
It
it's
was in that
been
like Facebook group era. Remember, like when
yeah,
like you could just
right.
meet there's like all these really good Facebook groups where there wasn't like people weren't just like dropping their Kickstarter link and it like
Yeah,
spamming the
yeah.
crap out of it. It was like
It
actual
was
conversations and
a lot more
networking.
organic. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like before the floodgates opened and like everyone wanted to start making indie comics and everyone knew about indie comics and kind of before I would say Kickstarter became or crowdfunding really became like a conversation piece between indie comic book creators. It was kind of rare to like when someone would launch a campaign, it was like, whoa, like you're really gonna do it,
Yeah.
like no way, how does it work, and what's it like, and now everyone is kind of an expert, so to
Uh-huh.
speak. But like, it's just become such um, a ubiquitous way to make comics now.
Yeah, now at this point, like crowdfunding, like indie comics means crowdfunding at this point.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
everyone,
synonymous.
yeah, like everyone's like puts their self-worth and success on what they raised on Kickstarter, and like, it didn't used to be that way. It used to be like, oh, like I got this, I did a con, or I'm getting this close to getting published, and
Yeah.
it was almost like, oh, you're doing a Kickstarter, so this guy's not even trying to get published. Like, this guy does not want the accolades. And now at this point, it's like, what do you mean you're not doing a Kickstarter?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was almost seen as like a illegitimate way of making comics, or where it became like we were feeling like it was a charity type of platform.
Yeah, yeah. You're like,
Like
look at
like
this
why,
guy.
yeah, like why are you begging for money for comics? Like I make comics in my basement. You know what I mean? Like or I go to my local FedEx or Kinkos or whatever, and I print my comics out there. And so whenever Kickstarter came around and people started using it, it was a much tougher sell. It was a much tougher sell to try to get people over there, to try to look at what you had going on. And the comic book community hadn't really, um, you know, gone over there in droves. So I mean, it took like years before people started thinking about it and talking about it more. And I mean, without it, I don't know if I'd still be making comics, but I always think about before crowdfunding and how indie comic book creators worked and how they made their books. And I think back on that, and I just like it's so inspiring because a lot of people just did it for the love of it and they didn't care about a number or looking good, saving face. Even a community like the internet, if maybe I mean, social media, all of these things, we're so uh we should be so grateful for everything that we have because it's so much easier to make comics now.
Yeah, like seriously, like I remember when I first got in, I was like, God, crap, like it's expensive to make a comic. How do you even get this going? So I was like, I'm gonna teach myself how to draw. And I just remember there's like really like no outlet to make money. Like you could be like you could try to get people to go on your website and buy it, but like then I was like,
Yeah.
then you're like, I have to learn how to make a website. I don't even know what that is. And
Yeah, I
yeah.
had to learn how to make a website to put seasons on there as a web comic,
Oh, and like that
like
functions like is just a whole. I remember seeing some people like you do like the web comic where it's like the page and like you press the arrow, and I remember
yeah.
I remember being like, I don't know how to do this. Like I think this is so cool, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, that's how I started out, and it was, I mean, I had to learn WordPress, and I think there was a Comic Press is like an add-on to WordPress or something. It's like a specific software you could merge with WordPress
Mm.
to make your or to put to post your comic on there. And this was before Webtoon, became big, and the scrolling. Everyone now it's like, well, we scroll to read
Yeah,
comics,
yeah.
and so the technology has evolved and comics has evolved with it. Um, and I haven't out of this kind of a tangent out of the Scott McCloud trilogy of making comics books, like understanding comics, making comics, and then reinventing comics. I've still yet to really dig into reinventing comics, but this was before that book in particular is about the digital age and how to make digital comics and what you could do. And I need to really dive into it because it was before the technology had evolved. And I'm really curious as to what Scott McCloud envisioned, but I don't know if he's such an innovator and so prophetic in what he was able to really expand upon when it came to comics in general. So I just think it's really interesting how comics has evolved as a medium with the technology.
Yeah, I think like it's definitely made the internet has made like OG comic book fans and even creators uncomfortable because
Mm.
I think it really flips this idea of like what is a comic to them. Like I know, like I've had various discussions with creators, arguments, where they're like where they're like a comic book like like this is a comic book. It's got to be a
Right.
floppy. And if you were to call like this a comic, they're like, no,
Hmm.
that's a graphic novel. It's like it's a comic book, bro. And they're like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
like only the floppy's a comic. And then if it's on like webtoons, it's not a comic because it scrolls and comics have pages. And you're like, it's like all of these definitions that they've had over the years are changing and evolving
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like you said, like having people talk about like the scroll. Like I've read lots of webtoons. I've read thousands of chapters of webtoons. I still can't get my head around creating one because I'm just like, but why would I do this?
Yeah.
But it's a huge market. And so yeah,
Yeah.
I think I think the age of the internet has made a lot of creators uncomfortable with what is a comic and what is a creator and how you make comics and how you market yourself as a creator.
Yeah, yeah, and I've I mean, Seasons is a good example of like I put it out as a web comic for people to read, and then like on my own website, and then I put it on Webtoon and formatted it, for Webtoon, and put it on there to try to get readers. And Tapaz and then Macroverse was another platform that I put it on,
Oh,
and I
I
was
remember.
trying.
I haven't heard Macroverse in a while.
Yeah, they're still going. They're not doing as many digital comics. They've done some really big Kickstarters recently, actually,
Well, that's
and they've
awesome.
kind of gotten more into the collector's market of like old vintage comics that are really hard to find now. But I'm still good friends with Evan Matthews, the co-founder, and but there was those platforms, and then it was like, I would read my own work on these platforms, and it was really interesting and really cool and exciting. But there's and even digital comics still, like I'll read them, and I can still get the story, and I can still get the experience of enjoying the story. But I've always felt that like the actual like physical turning of a page, and like being like interacting with the comic as a tangible format has always been something that it's just like unique to the medium itself that I don't think you can necessarily always replicate, digitally. And so like from a from a technology standpoint, there's something about the physical interactivity of a comic that doesn't necessarily translate over to digital platforms.
Yeah, like I'm a really big proponent of Global Comics. I love those guys,
Yes, yeah, I
and
have Seasons on there as well. Yeah,
like even just like the idea of like you do a digital spread and like it shows on your iPad the digital spread and it's still like so limited on what you can fully see as the double page spread, and then it
yeah.
like zooms to the words and it's kind of uh, it's a horrible experience. Like I'll be honest, it's a horrible experience. But like but I read so many I read more digital comics than I do physical comics, but I still complain about some of the aspects of it where I'm just like, man, this kind of sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it kind of changes. I feel like depending on what format you're writing for, it could change the way you approach it too. You approach the story like, well, you know, um, the way people are going to be reading this. I mean, especially if it's a vertical scroll, it's like, and you've seen those comics where they've taken a webtoon and formatted it for a graphic novel, and you're like, whoa, like this does not look
You're like,
right. Like,
wow, this is
like
really bad.
yeah, like it wasn't, and I think like we should accept that, and let the medium, or however it was intended to be read, to let that be the primary way it should be read, because otherwise something is going to get lost. It's like making an adaptation of a book, to screen or something. It's like, well, something is going to be lost, just like be aware of that.
That's a good way to put it. Like with scrolling, like one thing that like with physical comics, how you control the pace is how many panels you can fit per page, and then also the
Yeah.
page turn. And with scrolling comics, it's the space that you have in between each panel as you're scrolling. So if it's a super
Right.
tense moment, like maybe you see the panel and it's like the character's like shocked, and then as you're scrolling, like the sound effect like is like and
Right.
is like you're
Yeah.
scrolling. Like, you're not gonna get that effect in a physical comic, and you're not gonna be able to get that tension and whatnot, and in that. So like if they were to do that physically, it's going to be a horrible reading experience, because you're like, it's like what
Right.
you said, like it's going to get lost. There's going to be something that's going to get lost when it's adapted. um when it comes to like what you did with seasons, one thing that helps though is you did the seasons as a web comic in the like the old school web comic way, though, where you
Yeah.
post the page, you get to still keep the essence of what this book is going to look like and be experienced as a physical book.
Right. Yeah. And slowly as Webtoon became more popular, and as I was trying to explore other platforms to try to put seasons on, because at the time this was my first book, and my priority in getting as many readers as possible, no matter where they were, and and I think that should be the priority of any comic book creator who's in the indie scene, is like, where where are the people, where can I put my book, and how do I get it in front of as many people as possible. And thankfully, through that process, I feel like it's really helped the book survive. And I'm still getting new readers through it. And this campaign here, this is releasing it as trade paperbacks. So it's like another format, that I haven't explored with the series so far. But it's hopefully going to be a little bit more portable for people, and hopefully a little bit more cost effective, for both myself and the reader.
For sure. And we'll show this with this project like in the middle of the stream. I'm gonna let everyone know though that I'm an OG backer of seasons. I've got them as the hardcover, as God intended them to be
Yeah.
read. So
That's
I'm
right.
OG.
That's right. And they look beautiful on the shelf. And yeah, the volume one, I mean, not to get into the campaign, but like the reason why this campaign exists right now, why it's live, one of the biggest reasons is because volume one is completely sold out, like as a hardcover. So like that copy you have, like that's it. Like I'm not going to print anymore.
I do
make
remember you
anymore.
talking at one point, like having this dilemma where you were like, at
Yes.
some point the hardcovers are gonna sell out, and if you were do another hardcover run, you're gonna have to order in like this bulk quantity, and is
Yeah.
it gonna be
Yeah.
worth
Well,
it?
in doing the last two volumes as hardcovers, if someone can't pick up volumes, one or two, like they want them to match, right? Like we as comic book creators and readers, like we need things to match.
Yes, nothing
Like
pisses me off more than my Batman and Robin run, and I've got 2 paperbacks, and the rest are
yeah.
hardcovers, and I'm like, oh, it's just so ugly on my shelf.
Yeah, like you will, if you find that paperback or that hardcover, like you will buy it even though you have it, just because
Just to make it look good.
yeah, just to make it look good, and like, oh, I don't know, give this away or sell this or whatever. And I've done that before too, and yeah, that was a huge dilemma for me, because we've been working on volume 3 and getting it ready to do a campaign for the hardcover. And this series has been a passion project, been working on it for years. And so like I was like, well, there's really no point in trying to get new readers if they can't pick up the story. And so
Mhm.
like when volume 3 comes around, I'm going to offer a hardcover and a trade paperback. That way, for people who get on this campaign, you'll be fine, and for people like you who back the campaigns as hardcovers, you'll be
There's
good as well.
options. That's awesome. So yeah, let's get into our topic tonight, guys. Like the link is in the chat, the link is in the description for seasons volumes 1 and 2. So yeah, let's like Yeah, 19 minutes. Let's get into that. Let's get into the first topic. No, we've been having a great conversation, but like, yeah, let's start with like comics as art versus content. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because you just for everyone, let everyone know, like, I asked Nandor, I was like, hey, like, give me some topics that we can have a discussion on, and this is one that you had done. You had a discussion on JD Calderon's stream, but felt like you guys didn't get the sauce.
Yeah.
So let's drop the sauce into this discussion.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in the stream, and there's only a short amount of time, and we were starting to kind of get into it, but we had other topics to talk about, right? And so it was like I think we just like hit the tip of the iceberg, and this question had been bugging me throughout the rest of the week, and I thought it would be a great thing to talk about, with you. I know you've had these discussions before on social media and on different streams, and I think for me, I wrote some notes, and like as a comic book creator, like if that's your primary identity, like if you're coming out here and you're like, I make comics, like this is what I want to do, like content, I feel like is where the goal, the end goal is usually an interaction from the viewer or participant. So like the function of content is inherently but not exclusively transactional and slash or low effort. And what I mean by that is like making a social media post about your book, or making a video, or like a thumbnail about your brand or something, like when you're or even a newsletter, like. And I'm not saying those are low effort things, but like they're secondary to what you're trying to drive people to, which is the art.
Content
right?
is the vehicle to get people into buying.
Yeah.
Get them in the right direction.
Right.
What you're saying.
Right. And I don't know if that's a limited, narrow definition. Like, what do you think about that definition?
I mean, I think that is. I think that I think your comic, I think you can, there are some creators who have mastered the ability to turn their comic into content so that they can sell the comic. And like, to me, listen, to me, the moment you decide to sell your piece of art and make money off of it, it's a product to me. Like, you are now selling a product, and there's no way that you can try to tell me otherwise. If you're like,
I wrote something like that down. It was like, you can make art in a vacuum, but the moment you begin to sell it or create with the purpose of selling it, that part is where content comes in. Because you're therefore you're having to, be business minded and think to myself, well, how do I promote this? Like even at a convention, right? You're like, what banner do I need? Like how do I get people to come to my table? And so you're using the art from your comic, and you're trying to jazz it up, like make it look like something.
You're trying to create a sales pitch that's like that's like very hooky. Like, I remember I was right next to Russell Nolte at a convention once, and I wanted to punch him in the neck because he is so annoying. But he got so many sales because he knew how to drive people into his table.
He's a force of nature. I see his posts and his newsletter and the books that he makes, and I'm just like, wow, like what a.
And he's treated his creations as a business, and so like for me, you've created a product, and so to me it's like, how do you get people now to buy the product? And I think there's like, for me, my kind of vehicle has been to talk about marketing, to talk about businesses, to talk about books that I read, and kind of be like someone that like, oh, Tyler's someone that we could hang out with and have conversations with. And then like, that's been like kind of the vehicle that I used to be like, also I'm a comic book creator, and like, you should check out my books. And then luckily I've been able to combine those two.
Right.
I look at, but then there's other people who have been able to do it purely based off of their art and even their comics. So like, an example, I've got a couple, but crap, what the frick is her name? So if there's a girl I know, her name is Sazel, and she has a Patreon that does I think 20K a month,
Mm.
and it's purely because on Twitch, like she'd been making comics on webtoons for like 5 years, like no success, and is streaming on Twitch. Finally, one day does a doodle of these two characters, and her Twitch followers are like, "What the crap is that? Tell me more about that story." And she's like, "I'm just doodling," and she's like, "Do you want me to make a story?" And then so she goes, I'll make this a comic book if I get to $1,000 on my Patreon, like within
Yeah.
24 hours she hits it. And I'm like, oh snap. And then she's like, I can only make a page like a month with this money. And so they're like, what do we got to do to 5 pages? She's like, I need 5,000 a month. So like they hit that goal, and now it gets to
Yeah.
like 20. And it's all because it's nothing to do with her personality. It's nothing to do with her or marketing. It's people are like, we want more of this comic. Another
Mm.
example is like Common America. Like
Yeah.
they have like the webtoon series, which they use as free marketing as content to get
Hmm.
people like into the books. They have like all the voice, like they have all like the VA stuff on YouTube. They have all like the fan art. They make all like the comic book strips. Like to me, they've found a way to turn their comic into content that then drives the product of the comic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, and I think it has to do with what your primary like goal is. You know, like what is your priority? Like, is it just to, like, are you making a comic to get people to follow you, or to, subscribe to your channel, or like is that what you're trying to do and what you want people to engage with, or is it just a part of your brand?
Mm.
And that's where the comic and like making art, I feel like it starts to get muddy there, because you're you're kind of just using the comic as merch, rather than having it be your, like on almost like on a pedestal, like where you're like, this is why I'm doing all of this in the first place, is because I want you to read my comic. Whereas if someone decided to, well, I'm going to make a comic, but like my primary income, or what I'm known for is not comics, like then like that's when it becomes a bit gray, in terms of like what the function of the comic is now. um it doesn't mean that the comic is not any less art, but what the purpose of that comic is has now changed. And I think that's where the art side of things is no longer the priority. It's like, am I just trying to make this to drive people to something else? But if the comic is the end goal, then everything else that you're doing is that vehicle.
Yeah, like I remember I learned about this thing. It's like Walt Disney's like business map that he had for like
Hmm.
Disney. And I remember when I learned about it, I was like, I've got to create one for myself. And like it's like basically what it is
Oh, wow.
Walt Disney says like these are all the things that I'm gonna create as Disney. Like we're gonna do comic book strips. I'm gonna have Disneyland. I'm gonna have merchandise. I'm gonna have TV. I'm gonna make my own TV commercials, music. But the rule was everything has to point back to the main hub, which is he wants creative talent of studio theatrical films.
Oh,
Like
I love
Walt
that. That's
Disney's
so
the
cool.
only thing that like the only purpose for everything that he did on the side was to make the theatrical films. And like when you kind of see that, you go, "Oh, that makes sense." Like there used to be like the Lion King TV show, and you
Right.
would watch that. It would, so it's connected with the theatrical film. And then like he has all these music, like that's why they had musical studios, and like everything has to point back. And so I remember I made one of these because in the middle of mine was to make comics, and
Mm.
I'm gonna have my YouTube. And the goal of the YouTube is to push people to the comics. And I'm gonna have my social media to push people to the comics. And I'm gonna have my Patreon to get people like behind the scenes of the comics and then push them to buy it. And
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. I think for some people it's actually like in the middle, it's something else, and the comic
Right.
is over here on the sideline. Um,
Right.
and I think some people might think like, oh no, Tyler, like Tyler is like that. The comic thing is over here on the side for Tyler, and like that hurts my feelings, everyone, but I don't care. But like, no, it's so funny because like literally my business partner, we're like planning out the next like 6 months of our business. He's like, we're like, what do you want out of this? Like what we're doing? And my business partner's like, I don't know. I want to come into work for like an hour or two and like make a fatty paycheck and like walk away. What do you want, Tyler? And I was like, I want my office to have my drawing tablet in there and I can draw comics. And then if someone's like, hey, we need to help this person with this, I can like get up, leave, help the business, and then be like, all right, you guys good over there? All right, sweet. I'm going to go back and draw comics. And then, yeah, I think I agree with what you're saying. I think that's everything that you said, I think is really like, it's in this mind map. It's like, what are you pointing towards? And it could be like, for example, with Common America, I keep using them, but like, I love those guys. They have like
super successful. Like what they've done has worked.
Right? Oh yeah,
you know?
like they have they have Common America in the middle, and then they have the webtoon. And the goal of the webtoon is to get people into these like four panel strips that then make people go, oh man, this IP is kind of cool, and it gets people to buy the main book. And same with like their Black Ops, like their other side series. All their side series are to point towards the main book. And so and like for them, like they're not even in the picture. Like they don't have YouTube channels where they're talking about like themselves and what they're doing. Their YouTube channel is like a VTube version of Common America, being like, today we're going to be playing Balatro. And so yeah, I think for me personally, I don't think making content is wrong. I don't think it makes anything that you do cheap, because like at the end of the day, I see making content as a vehicle to get what you want. And I think people who get maybe like high and mighty on it, at the end of the day, it's just like, this is the world that we live in. There are people there are creators that we don't know about in Andor on TikTok making TikTok videos that are super low effort, but they're making more sales than like us on Kickstarter, because they're making the low hanging fruit. And people might go, I can't believe that person would do such a thing. Like that looks so bad on them. That person's like, I don't care. Like I'm making comics and making money. So, and I'm able to do what I want.
And I think, it's really, only indie comic book creators really, have this type of discussion. Or if you're, an entrepreneur, an independent, person who is trying to run a business. Because like if you're working in the mainstream, all of the like marketing and the content side of things, you have no say in, really. I mean, or at least you're not the one having to make those decisions. Maybe Marvel or DC will ask you like, well, what do you think about this promo image or something? And you're like, cool, like that looks good. But in our case, like we have to make those decisions of, well, where do we want to be? Where do we want our presence to be? What kind of brand are we trying to promote? What is it that and I know we had this discussion a while ago, but like the question I always had was, what is it that I can offer that other people are not offering, right? And so it's like, we have to think about those things, because if you're trying to stand out, or if you're trying to get eyes on what you're doing, it's really difficult to do that if you don't have a plan, like, and maybe that is video essays or starting polls or asking questions on social media, and kind of like driving for interaction. And I know a lot sometimes it can come across disingenuous, and sometimes it is, but I don't really fault people for trying to do that, because I've done it myself, where I'm like, well, what can I offer? What are people looking for? What is it, something that I can, what niche can I fit into that no one else can? And for me, the hard answer was, I just need to try things, and you just need to try it and see what sticks and what works. But I think, anytime you sacrifice the comic, I think, at the altar of content, or at the altar of like, oh, I'm I'm just trying to follow this trend to try to get money. And, I don't know everyone's situation. Like, I mean, if you need to feed your family, you need to feed your family. Like, I'm not going to judge anyone, but like sometimes, at least in my case, I have to make sure I'm like, why am I making this creative decision? Like, it has to be, um, for the story. Like it has to be a story reason, an art reason, rather than a business reason. But even when like you're creating a character and you're thinking about the character design, you're thinking about like the Rob Liefeld would say like the toyetic nature of your characters, and like could it be an action figure? Like these things we ask ourselves, like we're thinking about content. We
That
really
is,
are.
no,
Like
that's that
we're
exactly, and
you know
that's and like I think to me like it doesn't make you any less of a creator. It doesn't
yeah,
make you any
yeah,
less of a doesn't make your story any less than what it is or the effort you put in because you think of that. I mean, like you're right, like these companies and I think that's a big problem with indie comics is that we're looking at like Marvel and DC. These are huge, massive conglomerates, and
hmm
they have like years and years, like combined over 100 years of content and brand, and they already know they already know what the plan is for the next 5 to 10 years
yeah.
of what they're doing, but they also like they already know what they stand for. They already know what they do well, and they already know what like we're not going to see anyone replace Batman in
Yeah.
at DC. But for us, every one of us as a creator is essentially their own company, and
Mhm.
like what Marvel stands for is completely different than what DC stands for. What Image stands for is completely different than what DC and Marvel stands for. So what you stand for in Andor is completely different than what I stand for.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's why
Right.
there's so much like problems or drama in the comic book community because like I'm going to post online as I'm allowed to do on what I stand for. This is what I
Right.
believe in comics and making comics, and you have every right to do the same thing. And if we're lucky and adults, we can like come on these shows and have these discussions.
Right.
But I have to understand that I like creators. I think need to understand it's like these are these are separate comic book companies. Like my
Yeah.
values or how I make comics, the process is not gonna work for Nandor and what he's trying to do at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hear you there, and I think like I think something I remember you having these discussions like a few years ago, but it's what like we're playing different games. Like
Yes,
some indie creators are they're in a completely different line or game that they're playing, and it doesn't mean like not everyone needs to fit the one path. Like there's this one path that every creator fits into, because it depends on what your goal is and what kind of game you're playing. And like some people just want to be independent forever. Some people want to do work for hire and be independent. Some people just want work for hire. Like they just want to be a writer, an artist that doesn't work on their own stuff. And so if that's the case, the kind of moves that you're going to make are going to be so different than other people and what they're trying to do, and what they're spending their time on. Like if you're someone who wants to be independent forever, like you're going to be trying all these different things and making a YouTube channel and trying to build your fan base from the ground up as much as possible to spread word of mouth. But if that's not your end goal, you're not going to spend that much time, on those things,
correct.
because you're trying to pitch to publishers, you're trying to work with other people. There's so
You're
many
trying
other
to
things.
network. It's about like,
Yeah,
oh, I need to go to this con, not to sell, but that's where the people are. And if I can just get in that room and talk with
yeah,
these people, like
exactly.
it's completely different. Like I was talking to a creator, and they're like, Tyler, like, why don't you do conventions? And I'm like, well, one, I just like I don't have time, but two, I think I can make more money just chilling in my basement,
Yeah.
you know, and,
Right.
and making
Right.
comics. And they're like, but what about all the industry people that you can network with? It's like, I don't care.
Hmm.
Like that just doesn't appeal to me. Like, what about the after parties? I'm like, probably get kicked out. No one's going to like me. So like it,
Yeah.
and
I'm
that's,
doing them a favor
I'm
by
doing them
staying
a favor,
away.
not showing up. No,
But
but
yeah, I
yeah.
think like to I don't know, not necessarily wrap up the conversation, but like I think comics is art, um, whether it be in a highbrow sense or a lowbrow sense. Like you're trying to the the story you're trying to tell is you're trying to get an emotional reaction. Like that's what you want. Like you want someone to feel something based off of what you've created, whether it be just fun, entertainment, a gut punch, being riveted by something. And there's also the idea of like, um, content doesn't necessarily do that, or like I don't, it depends on what your end goal is, but like because there are some video essays or some YouTube videos, social media posts that it could be a poem, it could be whatever, and it's like, is this art? Like I'm reading it on social media, like it doesn't really matter, but like if it's affecting you in some way, if you're getting an emotional reaction from it, um that's where they overlap, and that's where you have to like kind of blur the lines a little bit and think about how it is, with what you're creating. And I know you've talked about how you can make a story out of your marketing, and I think that's really important. Like when that's what we do when we try to like sell a comic. We're like, I started making comics when I was this years old, how many years old, and I went through this, and this is what inspired the
Ugh,
story, and that's
gross. This is
all.
content.
Yeah,
Everything
this
you're
is,
saying is
but like,
content.
yeah, but like it's all a part of the story, and that's how it should be viewed.
I'll be honest. I think content's art, honestly. Like, and
Yeah.
I say that because I make content 24/7. Like, it's my job to work with big companies and make content for them.
Hmm.
And if like like everyone's gonna have like these definitions of like what art is like, but to me at the end of the day, art is anything that moves you and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
gives you an emotional reaction. And like honestly, like that's what I'm trying to do with the content that I'm creating. Like I'm I'm filming an ad. I'm filming an ad. Like we were going through. This is an example I can say, guys. I
Yeah.
swear to God, if I don't get Nandor a freaking backer tonight, I'm gonna be pissed. I am gonna be backing it because there is a what's it called, an ash
An ash
can for
can.
Volume
Yeah.
3. So like I will be getting that, but we need to get Nandor at least one backer tonight, because that's not gonna be me. Because I did my part like 5 years ago. But no, so like we were hired to film a video for someone who's getting like new teeth. It's like a
Hmm.
$50,000 procedure, and
Wow.
I sent my video team to go do it, and come back looking at the footage, and I'm like, we're looking at the ad, and I'm just like what is this that you've showed me? And they're like, oh, like this is the ad, and I'm like, this is a Mr. Beast video, like
Oh.
this is not like what's up with the sound effects. And I was like, so what we did is we sat down and we watched Dan Harmon's like story cycle,
Mm.
and I was like, guys, like we need to go back and we need to film them and we need to get their story. How did they get in this predicament? How did the procedure go? What's their new life like now that they have these new teeth they can eat? What's this emotion? Because the goal of this ad is to get people who are experiencing whatever pain they're going through to be so moved by this person's story that then they take
Yeah.
action. And so like we're now going in and like now the team is watching documentaries instead of Mr. Beast videos. We're watching documentaries to tell the story. How do you pace this? how do you put the music in at the right moment? And to me, like, people are gonna go, that's YouTube content, that's a Facebook ad. It's like, that's art, because I made someone feel something, go, oh my gosh, I'm not alone, I can take action. And so to me, I think content is art. I think it is something that is that can move people. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think there's like AI slop,
Yes.
like that,
Yeah.
and I think,
Don't get me started.
yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I think that you can have, there's like tons of AI slop. I actually am glad for AI slop, because
Mm.
it's like, if you can't beat AI slop, then you're just not a good creator. Like, that's like, to me, like when people are like, oh, like AI is just gonna, everyone's just gonna start. I'm like, if you can't come up with if you can't make something that looks better than AI, like, your thing just isn't that good. That's my
Well,
opinion.
you made me think, like what is the purpose of a movie trailer?
Oh yeah, that's content.
Yeah,
Eh,
like the point of it is to get you in the theater so you
yes.
can watch the movie,
To,
so you can.
and you want to
It,
get moved.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think every nerd can remember watching the Infinity War trailer
Oh my gosh, yeah,
when it first
yeah,
came. I was in the bathroom at work, just like and when they're going, or
yeah,
that's the Infinity War, or even the Endgame one, where what was
right,
the slogan at the end, like, whatever it takes, whatever it takes, whatever it takes. You're
yeah,
just like, ugh, like, I'm so ready for this. And like that, by the way, like, that never happened in the movie. Like, in that, like, they
right,
cut the scenes and they had different music, and so, like, they turned that piece of art into content, but it still created an emotion for you to
yeah,
get you
yeah.
in and to
To
act.
feed back into the art, it's like
Correct.
it's a necessary function or trigger to get you to do something, to take
Correct.
action,
Yeah.
and trailers are a form of art. I mean, there are some trailers that I love more than the movies,
Oh yeah, where you're just like,
like
wow, that
like
trailer was so good. Why was that movie so bad?
yeah, yeah, like whoever cut this trailer, whoever edited this trailer should have edited the movie, because like this like totally got you everything that you needed, and made you feel things that you didn't know you could feel within a minute or a
Yes.
minute and a half. So I definitely think there's an art to that. And I used to make music videos like a long, long time ago, where I'd take footage from films and put music over them, and I would spend like hours and hours and hours on this stuff. And it's like, even though it was just for the joy of it, but some people could maybe browse over it and think, oh, well, that's just a music video. But like, to me, every part of the drum rhythm, of like how a scene would transition for the music video, like, that's art. And a lot of music videos are art, and they're there, we watch those
When you pick the
because
scene, like when the chorus hits, you pick the particular scene for
yeah,
that chorus
yeah.
because you wanted it to, like, emulate, like, resonate in a certain way.
Well, and in the day and age of MTV, it was like, we have these music videos because we want you to listen to the music and buy the album, right?
Yes.
Like, it was advertising, for you
And
to be able
visualize
to.
something of the concept of it. Like, My Chemical
Yeah,
Romance's Black Parade, like, I
right,
think in this
right.
day and age, like, I think maybe people wouldn't care, or maybe there would just be all this Black Parade, like, TikTok videos, and you're just like,
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
like, get your Black Parade
You would
dance.
just hear the opening piano like every time you scroll, like
Yeah, and you're just
the.
like, someone's like, when I was young, and you're just like, but like, you watch the music video to be like, almost like, be part of it. It was your opportunity to be like in the world of the band or the artist, where like,
Yeah,
wow, this is
yeah,
like, I'm in this world of the Black Parade, or with Blink 182, like the I'm feeling it, where they're in the jail and you're like, oh, you're seeing like how everything's working out, and you're just like, oh, like or like All
yeah.
American Rejects, Dirty Little Secret, where like they have everyone holding like a piece of paper, and it's like the lie that they told, and
Right.
you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, like, you're connecting the music with like real world, and like that's content, but the goal is to get you to buy the album.
Right. Right. And to share it, and to, like, talk about it. And I mean, sometimes those music videos, yeah, they every time you listen to that song, that's all you can see now,
Yes,
and sometimes it ruins it.
dude.
You're like, man, I had a better music video in my head,
Yeah,
but
like there's not like I there are some songs where their music video, like if the last chorus is like in halftime and there's rain, I'm just like,
hmm
like
you got me.
is this the greatest song I've ever heard? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and that's powerful. And like Zack Snyder, he started out like directing ads and music videos, and you can see that in his movies, with all the slow motion and whatnot. Like you can see how, and some people say that where like Zack Snyder just like directs scenes, not movies, and like that's where that music video director comes out of, because you can see how that's where he started, and it evolved, and he eventually made feature films. But I think it's trailers and music videos like are like the equivalent of making a social media post or a trailer about your comic that you're trying to sell people, and that's that is content. And learning how to funnel that back to your book, that's the art of content, I guess you could say.
and it's an art. And I know people are gonna hate it, but like it's a science. I literally I was up till midnight working on a campaign for a client who's in Vegas, and I mean everything from just like the whole experience of like when you fill out like what's the like the video, like the scripting of the video, like what's the
Yeah.
emotion we're trying to get, because then we want that person to fill out a form, and when they fill out the form, how are we like what's the order of we're filling them out so that they feel something by the end of just filling out a form. Like a lot of people are like, Tyler, it's not hard. It's like, no, like we're asking them to fill out 10 questions, like they're ordered a specific way so that when they hit like next, the next part of the funnel jumps in, and it's supposed
Mm.
to give them this emotion. And then if they hit that final piece of a button, they then get an email and a text, and what's the copy on that text and email that's going to make them feel so good that they're going to want to take action and buy a $4,000 gym membership for 6 months. Like, and like that's what we're doing. And like, that's a lot of money. And
Mhm.
I've done this campaign several times and it's worked. And
Yeah.
it's like in my mind, I'm like, dude, I don't even know. I don't know who's buying $4,000 for a 6 month membership, but like, but there's a way to, but there
But it's
is a way to
working.
like engineer these emotions
Yeah.
and film it a certain way. Like we're literally watching the videos, and I'm just like, cut that out, add this. Why is the music here?
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, you just have to. And so, Nandor,
Do you
can
think
content be art?
Well, yeah, that's like I was gonna ask you, like if we think that like content can be art, um let's say 100% of the time, like, or I don't know, like 75% of the time, do you think that art is content? And what I mean by that is like you pick up a comic at a shop, or a book at a bookstore or whatever, graphic novel, and you pick it up, like I do not perceive that as content. I perceive that as a work of art, as like that is, you're not trying to sell me anything necessarily when I pick that book up. I mean, I'll decide if I want to buy it or not based off of the art, I guess. But like it's like I'm right there. So like the only decision I need to make is like, do I want to engage with this art or do I not want to?
Mm.
So
But then
like maybe
I'm trying to
maybe
think.
yeah, like maybe content can be art most of the time, but I don't think that art can necessarily be content.
I think it's the intention. I think art.
Right,
I think to
right.
me, art is always about maybe like, and like this is a working idea. So if someone's like, "This is what Tyler thinks," it's like, no,
Yeah, like I'm
I'm
just
exploring.
I'm just trying to like work through it in
Yeah,
my
I
mind,
wonder if like art is all about the final product, and
hmm
content is about getting you to the final product. And it can be
Yeah.
art, but the final product is the art.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I landed when I was writing down my notes and thinking about it, cuz like yeah, the intention of the trailer is to get you to watch the movie. The intention of the content is to get you to read the comic. And so that is that is the end goal, is experiencing the art, and you're no longer thinking of it as content anymore.
So I'm a Pinterest whore, and I'm currently in this really big um like cool using like trying to find ways to use digital tools but make them feel like traditional, like paper and
Yeah,
whatnot. And I've been
like
exploring
that
this with,
texture.
yes, have that texture. And I've been exploring that idea with advertising and specifically movie posters. And
Mm,
so to me, this is all content and art. Like this is an ad for Shutter Island right here,
right, right.
and but like to me, like this is a piece of art. Like
Yeah,
someone
yeah, I would
really
agree. Like
spent
I
time
love
on this.
that there's a lot of intent in how it's,
Yeah,
formatted, right? And
like
like what the emotion, it does evoke an emotion.
yeah, like here's the Social Network, and like they grabbed two particular scenes, and like you have the dichotomy of Eduardo and Zuckerberg, and it's in a newspaper feel, and like I don't even know what this text is, but it just all of these like movie posters, like this is Fight Club. Is this the life you
Right.
really want? Like that invokes an emotion that you're
Yeah.
like, man, like what's he talking about? Um,
Yeah, what's that from? And
exactly.
you wanna go find it.
Yeah, like I've been liking this one with True Detective. They put a bunch of the lines in there, and
Oh, that's cool. I
so
like that.
so to me, like all of this is considered content, but it's advertising to towards a final product.
Yeah.
Like to me, this movie posters are like punk, prophet, genius, traitor, billionaire. You're like,
Right.
whoa, like this guy's nuts, and the goal is to get you to watch the social network. Um, like I think like this is art.
Right.
You don't get 500 million friends without making a few enemies. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I think to me like I think art, it will always be art, and I think content has the ability to be art depending on
Mm.
how intentional it is. Like I've like my company that we've created a bunch of ads for companies where I'm just like actively almost like pissed off at my team that we sent the ads to the people, where
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
like I'm like, what was your intention when you made this creative? And they're just like, well, most of the time it's like, oh, I had 3 days to do it. And I'm like, that's perfect. And I'm like, that's enough time to like make something good. Like you just grabbed a stock photo and put some text on there. Like
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
wasn't good. Like, can we make something better? Can we be a little more like can we like be more intentional on what we're doing with our ads? Like there is a way to make really good content that is art that gets someone to stop and click for a second.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I mean, you kind of maybe we use these words so flippantly or interchangeably too often, but like in everyday situations when you're like working on a project for a corporation or something that your heart's not in it, like you'll hear someone try to encourage you and be like, well, like get creative with it or whatever. It's like, well, what does that mean? Like try to get artistic with it, like treat it like an art project, even though maybe that's not the goal. Like the goal is to get is whatever you're creating to get them in the store, get them to buy a product, get them to do something. But we always hear that, and it's like we're trying to tap into an emotion, trying to tap into something. So I like your idea of like it it can be art. It has the potential to be art, but art will always be what it is, rather than you can't like you can't necessarily take anything away from it,
Yes.
whereas you can the other way around.
And like you could present me like with a comic and I'm like, yeah, this thing is like bullshit. But
Right.
it's still art. It just didn't do its job for me. Like I think I hate Sandman. I hate that comic. I'm so pissed off that
Don't say that, Tyler.
I hate that. I'm so pissed off that, like, remember, like, DC would come out with like this trade paperback of like DC essential books that
Yeah.
like every
Mhm.
nerd needs, and I'm like, these are the requirements that I need. So I was like, I bought every single one, and one of them was the Sandman deluxe paperback editions, and I was like, if I'm a comic book fan, I need to drop $120 on this series, and I read the first like 2 issues, and I was like, oh, I hate this thing so much. I just have it, and
Yeah.
I hate it. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it is art. It's done amazing things. Like, millions of people have read it, and it's resonated with them. It just didn't resonate with me. But I like stuff that I read books like Reincarnated as a vending machine, and people might be like, that's really stupid and that's not art, and I'm like, yeah, but I really like it, and it makes me happy, and when I have a bad day and people threaten to like sue me and stuff, I go, you know what, maybe I'll read this vending machine comic because it's gonna calm me down.
I mean, I like, if you're someone who engages with art, and with comics in particular, um there you're always gonna run into, and I've this has happened to me many times, where like I'm at the comic book store and I'm talking with someone, and they talk about how much they hated this book, and they just keep going and going and going, and I'm like, and in my mind I'm like, man, I loved that. Like, like what do I say? Like how do I break the news that like you're just like crapping on this,
But that's the
book that I
fun.
like.
I did a road trip this year with Tim and Mark, creators of Common America, and their friend Eric.
Mhm.
And so like it's 4 guys who all love comics, but we all love different stuff. And so
Yeah.
we're driving, it's a 10-hour drive. We're driving. Eric goes, "Oh, I think this X-Men one run was really good." Immediately gets shit on. And then
Yeah.
and then Mark goes, "What was better than that though was this run." Everyone immediately shits on him. And then I go, "Well, actually, I really liked this DC book." Everyone shits on me. And then Tim is like, "Well, actually, I'm a fan of this." And then everyone shit on him. So it's like,
Yeah.
and no one was offended. We're all just laughing. But like
Right,
that's the
right.
best part, I think, about comic books is like what you like. I might be like, man, Nandor, like that sucks. Like I get flaccid reading that book, and
Yeah, yeah.
but we can have a good time about it.
Yeah, I think sometimes, and I had to, learn this like just growing up, and learn, when there would be certain movies that I really enjoyed, certain Marvel movies that I really enjoyed, and I would recommend it to people, and they'd be like, "Man, I hated, Iron Man 2." And I'm like, "Oh, I loved Iron Man 2." But
What's your Marvel movie what's the Marvel movie that you really like that everyone's like that sucks? Is it Iron Man 2?
well, that's definitely, I feel like that one gets such a bad rap, but and I really enjoyed Multiverse of Madness, but I'm a Doctor Strange like
People don't like
nut,
that one?
Yeah, I at least that's what I've heard.
Chat, do you guys like Multiverse of Madness? I liked it.
I always hear like it's so messy. It treated Wanda so terribly, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's a Doctor Strange movie. I don't know.
I
Like,
will say the only thing I didn't like about that movie is I didn't watch Vision.
oh
And so
yeah,
like when
yeah.
like she just went bad all of a sudden, I went, "Whoa," like
Like,
she was
where'd
like
this come
I was
from?
like,
Yeah.
"What like what the heck happened?" Like I thought she was awesome. Okay, never mind. Everyone in the chat saying that the movie was garbage and
Yeah,
ass.
yeah.
Okay.
See?
Oh, okay. No,
So like,
fuck.
but like, they're like, I've had to learn, just, certain art styles are not to everyone's taste, certain movies are not to everyone's taste, and like, objectively, Sam Raimi is a good director. He's a good, you know filmmaker. Maybe you don't like his, one or two of his movies, but there's still brilliance there, and um, even in some of the worst stories that I hate, I always try to look for things that I enjoy about them. I'm a half glass full type of person, and so I'm always looking for that. But it doesn't mean that. when something is not good, something that I do not like comes around, I always the first thing that I do is like ask the question, well, what did you like about it? Like that's always the first question, because instead of going, what, like that was like awful, I'm like, well, what did you like about it? Because I can't I can't think of anything. Um
there's gotta be something like there's gotta be something that you liked out of it, or maybe just you maybe like to me I'm like yeah maybe that thing sucked, but like I was entertained for like an hour and I'll
yeah,
never like go back to I'll never maybe watch that movie ever again, but like
right,
I
right.
was
And
entertained.
just when you're in pop culture and you're immersed in it, like it's just going to happen, and people take things so personally, and that's where it really, like, when you dislike something that someone likes, they take it as a shot at them, and it's not meant that way. I mean, it's like your favorite song, you could love a certain band, and someone's like, that's the worst song I've ever heard or whatever, and it's like, ooh, like that hurts, like that really hurts, because it's a song that is so meaningful to you, and we take that personally, and um you got to roll with it, and you just got to go,
I
okay,
don't know,
whatever.
Nandor. I think the indie comic scene is just in the pop culture is filled with just a bunch of children. Like I'm trying to think. Like I'm literally trying to think. I don't think I've ever gotten offended by someone not liking my personal opinion on like a
Mm,
song or a
yeah.
book or
Well,
I
that's good.
I don't think I've
I
ever
mean,
gone or even like if they've gone mad at like my opinion. Like I'm not just like like that like put me in like I'll disagree with you. I'll stand up to my opinion, but I've never
yeah.
just been like, "Oh, like how could anyone ever not like this?" Like like kill myself. Like I don't act like that. So I don't know. Caden
Yeah.
sketch that Thor Dark World clears half the MCU. That is quite the take.
That's yeah, I think he's trolling there, but that's a terrible one for sure. For
Caden's like,
sure.
no, actually, it is my favorite.
No, that's my favorite.
I'm shocked that people
Malekith,
like
Malekith.
so many people hated Age of Ultron.
Dude, why?
I don't get I can't
Why?
I
That people do not understand, like that set up so much of like what
everything.
we think of the MCU, and I mean it. Yeah, to this day I defend that movie. I,
Yeah,
I really did
I
enjoy
can't
Age
think
of
of when people
Ultron.
are like, "Oh," I'm like, "I liked it. I liked it a lot." No, Caden says he says that he's dead serious. That Thor
Oh,
Dark World
okay.
clears half the MCU. And you know what, Caden? It's
What did you
okay
like
if you
about it,
yeah,
Caden?
what do you like about it, Caden? And you're okay, it's okay to have that opinion even though you're wrong. And
Yeah.
he just liked Natalie Portman. He's like, finally, Natalie Portman's got a bigger role.
Yeah, I will say I did remember, I mean, how old was I when that came out? Like I did like it when I watched it. I think it's, the third or fourth time that I've seen it that I go, like I don't know if this really holds up that well.
He says, I like the
But
scene where Idris Elba takes down the invisible ship.
that's a great scene. Yeah.
See, there you
Yeah.
go. Nandor's like, that's a shitty movie, but that is a good scene.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like I think the only ones I didn't like were like I didn't like Iron Man 2, I didn't like Thor 2 or 3 or 4. I don't like any of the
I
Spider-Mans.
wrote I wrote a letter to Marvel when Iron Man 3 came out, because I was so upset with the interpretation of the Mandarin, because I was a huge Mandarin fan and an Iron Man fan, and I was like, I don't know, 15 or 16, and like I was so offended, like I was so depressed for an entire week. Um but after like watching it over the years, and kind of just sitting with it, like I'm okay with it now, but man, that really really ruined it for me, because they had it all set up so great, like he was this terrorist, and he was like,
And then it
you
was just the
know
white guy at the end.
yeah, it was just Ben Kingsley like having fun and stuff, and then he was a patsy, and I just thought to myself, you took like Iron Man's greatest foe and you made him a joke, and like it killed me.
Travis says Caden has been trying to get me to watch One Piece. When I tell any of my anime friends that I am watching it, they say, "Ugh, why?" I mean, like, I think I read somewhere where like if you watch 3 episodes every day for the next year, you'll be caught up, and that's just quite the commitment. That's like over 1,000 episodes. Caden, why would you do that? This is my problem. I'm gonna go right. For people who don't like anime and manga, you cannot suggest to them One Piece because it's too big.
Yeah.
Like get
It's
them
too
into
big.
into something smaller where that's digestible.
Yeah. Yeah. My go-tos are always, I mean, they're basic, but like, Death Note is a nice short, like 12, 13 volume type of thing. Bakuman, I think, is like 24 volumes. But the reason why Bakuman is so great for creators to read is because it's about making manga.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. So like, if you're like, oh, I don't really know if I like manga, it's like, well, why don't you read a manga about making it, and you'll understand
Why
all
they
the
do like
tropes.
why they
Yeah,
do what they do. Have
yeah.
you ever read The Promised Neverland?
I have not, but I've heard really great things
That's
about that
that's
one.
my personal favorite. I always tell people if you don't get addicted to it by the first chapter, there's no hope.
Yeah.
There's no hope.
I'm
After
reading Pluto right now,
that.
and
Oh, I
I'm
hear that's
having
good.
a ball with it. It is
Have
so good.
Have you read Monster?
Yes.
That's
Same creator.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. That guy has so many like he's incredible. He's too good. He's
Hmm.
like Monster, Pluto. He's done like the one with like the eye guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's amazing.
Travis says, first off, have you not been paying attention to my life? I go big or go home. So I'm in for 1,000 episodes or until I get mad. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Until he reaches his final form.
Yeah. I think people would be shocked that like I liked Jared Leto's Joker. Like yeah, like that's like I think that's the one where people
You and my brother.
your brother liked it.
Yeah.
I'm not
he's a big-
alone. I
He's a big
legit
Jared Leto fan.
I liked his interpretation of the Joker. I was like, we had this crazy crime boss. Like I think Heath Ledger's Joker was amazing. I thought Jared Leto's Joker was like more over the top crazy. Like unpredictable crazy.
Well, and there's something to be said for like at that time trying to do Joker in the shadow of Heath Ledger. It's like, you really can't do the same thing, and that's what I
Yes.
really like about Joaquin Phoenix is like it's not the same, but he took a different like aspect of the character and ran with it. But like, that Suicide Squad film, like, I'm totally on board with hashtag release the Ayer cut because that movie, like, I
That's
need
one
to
of those
see.
the first trailer came out and you're like,
Yes,
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 give this to me, and then you watch the movie and you're like, this is like I remember watching the first trailer and it's like that really like slow music. Oh,
yeah,
the joke was on me, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna be so dark. And then
yeah,
and then you find out they're doing reshoots, and the next trailer is like, Mamma Mia, Mama. It's Bohemian Rhapsody, and
yeah.
you're like, that's not what I want.
Yeah, and there was a great, I think it was an interview that David Ayer did with John Bernthal on his podcast, and it was like Guardians of the Galaxy had just came out, and like DC was like, well, we need to like make this ensemble movie more like that, and David Ayer's like, what, like what are you talking about? Like this is not my movie. Like what? Like we can't do this. And oh, it was so aggravating. But the cool thing is like he has that cut. Like he has his copy of it.
Like it's out
And
there. It's like the Snyder cut. Like it exists.
yes,
So it's
it
possible.
exists, and so I I I want to see that so bad.
Dude, I want to
'cause
see the Batman Forever cut.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm wanting, man. I love Batman Forever. I think that's like my second favorite Batman movie
Mm.
is Batman Forever.
I love Val Kilmer as Batman. I think he did a good job.
Yeah.
And I grew up on those, right? So like I have that kind of bias towards them, but um there's a lot of creativity there and zaniness to it all, and the Joel Schumacher-ness of it all, and trying to bring the Adam West kind of style back. But
All right, man. We've got how much time you got, man?
I got time. So yeah,
All
you're
right.
fine.
Let's do one more. Let's do one of the questions. I think we hit the content versus art. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just like exploring the ideas and what fits
Yeah.
best for you. Real quick, pitch us seasons, man. I think we did get you a backer.
We did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you totally did.
And by the
So
end of the
you're
night, I'll have it back, so you get two because I do need that volume 3 Ash Cam. But yeah, pitch us seasons.
of course.
Chill. Give us the content.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So Seasons is James O'Barr's The Crow meets M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable. It is a planned 4-volume graphic novel series about a young man whose abilities change with the seasons of the year. Each volume's over 100 pages each. This is for the trade paperback editions. And this is about the story of Fletcher. And he's not happy with his life anymore. He's really down in the dumps. We find him in volume 1, and he gets rejected by the love of his life. And he has to, he kind of spirals, and he has to learn how to evolve and grow as a person. So it's kind of a late coming of age story about someone who is kind of thrust into this world that he has to contend with and overcome all of the fears and anxieties and figure out the person he was always meant to be.
And so with every what's volume 3? Are you guys currently doing fall?
Correct. Yeah. So we're working on fall right now. That's going to be the largest volume yet. It's going to be almost like 150 pages. Same creative team, myself and Anthony Gonzalez Clark on art. It's a black and white series. So if you like black and white art, there's some manga influence in Anthony's style. Sorry,
Yeah.
Travis. But but it's a beautifully rendered story. And if you're, it's a superhero book, but without any of the superhero window dressing, if that makes sense. So like it's very grounded. It's very stripped of all of the bells and whistles, but it has a hero's journey, built into it, and an origin story for Fletcher. And he has to, learn about all these different abilities that he has, and has to take on these different creatures and entities with each volume. So there's a supernatural aspect to it. It's all about healing and trying to put the pieces of your life back together. And this was my first comic that I ever wrote, and the first comic that Anthony ever drew. And this, while I've been working on Man-Child and the Fabled Offering and Lifeline and other projects, this series has never left me. It's always been a series I've wanted to get back to. And we're finally coming back, and I wanted to roll out the red carpet for it and bring everyone on board, because this is one of the most ambitious indie comics that I've seen put out there. And by the end of it, it's going to be around 500 pages.
That's incredible. Yeah, not a lot of creators can say they've put out that body of work
Right.
with their stories. So yeah, it's a huge undertaking. I like what you said though about the superhero story without the, what did you say, the window dressing? I think I'm gonna start using that. Because I remember when I did my comic chefs and I canceled it, and I just was like, man, I just don't want to do a superhero story. I just I'm not good at these superhero stories. I remember someone was saying hey, The Girl with the Megafist is a superhero story. It's just you focus more on all the drama elements and the soap opera elements. It's mostly the superhero stuff is there where she's fighting a bad guy and have to save the city or whatever. But you spend more time with the character interactions and the I'm struggling with this and the internal monologues and how they deal with that. And I like how you say that. Even with this, this cover where you're his demons are pulling him back.
Right.
He's got this one right here. You would never think oh, this is a superhero story. This is someone who's really dealing with some serious shit.
yeah, that's Fletcher looking at his reflection in the mirror of his shadow self. So in volume 1, he's taking on the shadow selves of his entire city and fighting himself. You know, this is the introduction of him and his struggles. And you have to, if you're gonna show character growth and show how a character evolves, you have to bear all, essentially, like all their demons, all their sins, all of their regrets, all of their problems that they have. And he's not a fully formed person. He has a lot of issues, and with each book he's going to be, like I said, putting the pieces of his life back together. And so each volume takes on a different emotional obstacle that he has to mend. And fall, as we get to volume 3, that's all going to be about him kind of coming home and facing everything that he's kind of left on the table. And with, like, volume 1 is about him being in this pit, volume 2 is about him being in the wilderness, volume 3 is about him coming home. So it's this really big scale story, but it's very character driven, and it's a very, like, intimate portrait of the small things that are actually the biggest things in your life, and how you need to be able to put a place, have a place for them, and discover more about yourself and who you want to be.
Here's the thing, guys. I already talked about this at the beginning of the stream. I already did my part. I backed the book. I backed the book when they were hardcovers. Like when I was getting ready for this stream, I was telling Andrew before this, I loaded up the Kickstarter and I started, like, reading the synopsis, and I was like, I swear to God, I have read this. I feel like I've seen this artwork before. Got home from work and I was like, oh yeah, I've got, like, the OG hardcovers here. So
Yeah, and I want to let people know, like you. I know you mentioned the Ashcan, but, like, if you had read the series before, or picked up the books, like, you can get the next chapter, the next teaser of Fletcher's story in an Ashcan on this campaign. But if you haven't picked up the books, you can get the first volume as a digital PDF for $5. That's over 100 pages for $5, and then you can also get volumes 1 and 2 as trade paperbacks, $15 each. So for $30, you can get over 200 pages of comics. So I think
it's a great
this
price.
is my why not campaign. Like, why not back Nondor? Why not give him a shot? Why not, like let's do this together. If you don't like it, that's fine, but you have no reason not to back this just because of, like, as a fan of Anthony and his artwork, and by itself, like, it's beautiful work, and he gives it his all. And it's a major investment for us. And the other cool thing is that this book was picked up by Source Point Press. So this book is going to be in comic book stores and bookstores all over the country sometime next year in 2026.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
So,
That's awesome.
thank you. So, like, we have a publisher behind us. They believe in it. I believe in it. I believed in it for almost a decade now, and so we're really coming together to make something really special.
Guys, go check it out. I mean, like, yeah, like, for most Kickstarters, like, show me like a bunch of Kickstarters that are $15 for a 100-page graphic novel. Like, you're not gonna see a lot. So yeah, go check it out. All right, let's end with this.
And all the art's done,
and it's a completed book. Like, you're gonna,
it's all completed. Even the Ashcan, it's all completed.
You're gonna get it no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, I've done like 11 campaigns across Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and raised almost like 50 grand. So, like, you can trust me, like, it's gonna happen.
I just remembered, I was like, I feel like I have another one by you, Lifeline.
That's right.
Lifeline.
Yeah.
See guys, I know ball. All right, final topic for tonight: the illusion of social media's influence on the comic industry. What do you think, Nandor?
So I came up with this topic after coming home from New York Comic Con a couple weeks ago. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because when I was there interacting with creators, both indie and mainstream, and just being kind of surrounded by people who love comics and who are there to have a good time and there to celebrate comics. Um, it was kind of a wake up call for me, and like a light bulb went off, and I really thought to myself like these are my people, like these are the people who are here to make comics better, not worse. And what I see a lot of in social media, and it's not just, not just comics, right? It's just the 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 beast of social media, and kind of um the necessary evil of social media, if you will. It's like there's so much noise on it, and there's so much distractions. There's so many distractions on social media. And while I feel like it it can help, and it does help to promote, you know, um, comics and the industry, and share things around, I feel like it's really not as important as we think it is. And I think we think it's more important because we're on it a lot.
Interesting. I totally disagree. Real quick,
Yeah.
we got
Let-
Massive Panda saying we're never going to allow Tyler to live down the fact that he canceled Chefs. The chat will haunt you forever. I know.
I still want that book. Yeah.
I'll give it to you. I've got a copy. I finished it.
Mm.
Like I finished it. Like I have like 10 more copies of it. I even paid an artist to do another version of the graphic novel. I went and we made the 60-page graphic novel, and I went, yeah, I still hate this series. Like it was even a completely different like story too.
Right.
And by the end of it, I
right.
was like, I hate this. I don't want to put this out. So I just have a graphic novel just sitting in my thing. Well, so like
I'll have to ask you about that sometime, because I find it curious that you could finish a book or get so far into something but not like it, I guess.
I'll tell you why I got to this is social media. I put out sketches of a character, it resonated with people. And then they liked the concept. And then I put out another character based off of that concept, and they liked it. And so I started just getting all this attention. My YouTube started growing, my Twitter and Instagram started growing. So I was like, I should obviously like just make this book, like make a story and do this book. And I got 3, and I pitched it as a series, and everyone got really excited. They're like, this is going to be a series. And they had all these ideas. And like halfway into the book, I was like, I don't even like the story. Like I'm just crafting a story.
You got swept up in it.
Yeah, like I have nothing really to say. I don't really care what happens. I'm kind of letting, as I started like posting the story more people were like, well, we like more of this character. But I'm like, well, I'm trying to like do something with this character, and I just kept. And so basically, what happened was like I don't like the story. I was like, and I don't want to commit. I canceled it because I was like, if I finish the story, it's gonna leave on a cliffhanger. And it's almost going to tell people, I'll always have the hanging thread, when's volume 2. And I was like, it was like, I'm never going to make this. So it's like, I'd rather just not take anyone's money and not make it. But I eventually did finish it, and I still didn't like the story. And so like now, like, but I liked the concept. And so like I have like a 3, and we don't have to get into this, but like I have 3 steps when I make a comic. Do I have a concept that I really like? Number 2, do I have a story that I can tell in that concept that I like? And then number 3, I make it. And most of the time, I can never solve number 2. Like, I'll come up with a fun concept, and I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. Then I start trying to come up with a story, and I'm like, I don't care anymore about, like, the concept's fun. I don't care about the story. I don't care. So, move on.
That makes sense. I appreciate you, like, walking me through that.
Yeah, so like a lot of people, they love the concept of like food superheroes, and it's a cool concept. I could never find a story in that concept that was deep enough or resonated enough with me to want to make all these.
You need to watch The Bear, you know?
I hate The Bear. I hate The Bear. But yeah, when it comes to social media, something that you were saying is like, you're saying when you go to these cons, you realize that you're like surrounded by all these people. You're talking about creators, right?
Yeah, creators, but also just
Readers,
attendees, you know,
attendees.
like watching people get in line for a creator, or, you know, get excited for a panel about, you know, whatever it is. You know, I go, they're here to support whatever is happening. And um I guess what makes that special to me is like they're not there waiting to shit on something or tear something down. They're waiting to see what can you offer me that I'm hungry for, you know.
That's fair. I think the physical aspect of it is it's such a choice to like pay this high ticket to travel, to take time out of your life to go to these
Yeah.
conventions. So like naturally you are going to want to have a positive experience both as a creator and most importantly like as an attendee.
Mhm.
To me though, I go I think it just depends on like your goal. Like to me, my goal is to make a book that I love and then get it in front of as many eyeballs as I can. And to me, like I look at like the ROI of like money and time spent and like the results.
Yeah.
And so to me, I'm like I would rather put that time and energy in social media because there's a bigger reach opportunity to have in the long term with social media because like you go to a con has a finite number of people that are attending that year. Like
Right.
you're not gonna be like, well, no, a million people could. It's like no, like there is a couple, like there's several thousand that are gonna be in here, and you hope that they get to your booth, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
at some point. But I don't discount it. But when it comes to like this like social media's impact on the industry, I mean, you look at like I don't know that look at that hashtag comics broke me thing. I got canceled on that. I lost a publishing deal because I made a tweet about about that. Or
Yeah.
even on a worse level, look at like what happened to someone like Ed Piskor, who
Mhm.
like one rumor. I don't know if it was a rumor, but you know, like just one bad like tweet or Instagram post,
Yeah, things spread
things
really
spread
quickly.
so bad that the guy took his life within 24 hours. And within that 24 hours, he lost everything: publishing deals, friends,
It wasn't 24 hours, but it
like
was,
40.
I think a week or within a week or so.
Okay,
Um,
not as fast as I
yeah.
wanted. No,
Uh,
but like within a week, like he lost publishing deals, he lost friends, he basically lost everything
mhm.
because of. And so and at the same time, I think you have um I think social media is able to prop up specific books and creators um to give them like more success. Like I think like Scotty Young, I think he was able to be I think he was always going to be successful, but then because his like childlike art was able to like resonate so well and look cute on like Instagram, he was able to grow this massive following that then is able to like propel his career even more. Or because like James Tinian and like these other people are like so prolific like in the mainstream, but also they have good online presences, they're able to get like these Substack deals and
Right.
whatnot. So like i I do think that social media does have both a positive and a negative influence in the comic industry. I mean, remember that Marvel thing with like Snowflake and what something something
The New
the
Warriors.
new
Yeah.
Warriors? Like the
Yeah.
thing didn't even make it to shelf because it
Right.
got so much
Right.
backlash online.
Well, I think yeah, like I definitely know what you mean. And I think where I'm coming from is like the the illusion of social media and with the influence in the comic book industry is, I feel like for as many things as maybe it has affected, um there's maybe 10 that it hasn't. You know, for like one thing that maybe it's affected, maybe there's 10 things that
Mm.
it hasn't. And like, you know, I guess and I'm kind of coming at this from a point of view, I think, of sales, maybe more so than, cancellations or, things like that, because that's
So you
definitely
don't think like
out of
social
play. I mean,
media has any effect on like the sales of a book?
yeah, yeah. I feel like the influence in how the comic industry, and I'm mostly talking mainstream here. So,
Yeah.
there's different facets of it, but like, because like without social media, like crowdfunding independent creators, like it has a major influence.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like
But
of
just
course it
mainstream.
does.
Do you
Yeah.
think I'm trying to think. I think of like Absolute Batman. Like I wonder if like cuz that Absolute Batman has gone viral on like every social media. Like the
Yeah.
design. So like
Yeah.
there's a part of me that's wondering if like maybe the initial sales, like the first printing was like not due to social media, but maybe it's like third to sixth printing are due
Right.
to social
Right.
media.
Yeah, and I think, something catches on, right? And I know Scott Snyder was doing a promo tour like no one else,
Mm-hmm.
and he was going on all these YouTube channels, and he was, pushing the book on social media very heavily. Um, but a lot of that comes from because people trust him because of of,
Yes.
of what he's been able to grow. Like when you go back to Black Mirror,
The
you
best.
know, yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
great,
best.
great story. Um, it's like he didn't have that. I mean, he didn't have the clout,
You're right. He was
the
it was like who's this guy you're going to give this guy Batman?
yeah, yeah. And like, if that can happen without social media, social media can bolster someone's success, and maybe it can prolong it, but I don't think it necessarily is like an essential ingredient in making it.
Hmm.
Um,
In the
and
mainstream.
right, right.
I've always wondered though if the mainstream did a better job with social media if the sales would be really good
Yes,
because like
I think so. I think it would. I think it would, and I think that's a problem.
I got into comics because of the New 52 and the DC marketing team had that girl and that guy do all these YouTube videos. And
Yeah.
like somehow they ended up on my feed and I was like, oh, what are these comic things? That's how I got into comics was the New 52 had launched and they started doing all these YouTube and marketing and a pop-up did show up on like a site I was trying to download porn on. So like I'm like that's marketing. Like they got me. And now I don't see those pop-ups anymore, but I'm still on those porn sites. So where's their ad guy?
Your ad blocker is working,
Yeah, no, so like I there's a part of me that wonders if they did more active like Facebook and like as someone who does marketing full time, I'm honestly shocked at how bad mainstream comics and even comic book shops are at marketing. Like
Yeah.
I use a software where depending on whatever behavior you do, Nandor, I'm going to put a specific tag on you that's labeled a
Mhm.
certain way based off of your behavior. And so, like, to me, if I was using that software at a comic book shop, like my personal profile would say this guy likes Batman because he
Mhm.
buys all the Batman books. So when a new comic book comes out like Absolute Batman, or like I didn't know that there was a Long Halloween book going on right now with Mateo Scalera's art.
Oh, yeah,
I just
yeah.
found out about it on the final issue. So like,
Mm.
but to me, it's like, how come my comic book shop doesn't have like this automated email where it's like new Batman titles sent to anyone with the tag Batman, and
Right.
it's just blasts, and maybe you have the tag Superman and Batman, and so you get the Superman emails and the Batman ones, because that would have gotten me into the shop. So
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you in that it's it's most likely that social media isn't affecting mainstream workings in the industry. It's my
Mhm.
but there's part of me thinks that they did a better job. they would they
Yeah.
would do
Well,
a good
and
job.
there's been a lot of talk recently about sales booming in the comic book shops. Like I think it was like 18% compared to last year, and that has to be because of the Absolute line and the Ultimate line, at
Mm-hmm.
Marvel and DC. Um, there's probably some other outliers there, like Battle Beast or, um, the Transformers Energon universe as
Oh
well. Like
yeah,
that's
that
been really
yeah.
hot. Um, and so, when I see those things, and I know people are talking about these things on social media, and I see it, and it's exciting. I think it's really exciting to see it. Um, I think I guess where where I go, like they wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't good in the first place. And the only reason is it's good is because these companies have trusted these writers and these artists who have proven themselves over time. It's not necessarily because of social media that these books are good. It's just because they are good and people are talking about it. And it has helped sales and it has increased it. But I think sometimes we overestimate um, how powerful it can be in the mainstream in particular. But and like in passing on social media when you're interacting with creators or readers, there's something a lot more um, lasting and definitive about an engagement in person. And I feel like that's why conventions and meeting people in person um, is so much more effective because you create that memory with that customer. Um, and if you have that good interaction with that customer in person, it's way more memorable, way more effective than someone like just tweeting at you and you're like, "Oh, thanks for buying my book." Like it's way more effective to get that handshake in, to sign that book, and to make that connection. And they have that with them forever.
Hmm.
Unless you're a jerk and you're terrible with people. But like, um, to me, like I have bought books because I've interacted with people in person that maybe I wouldn't have picked up otherwise. It's because I like them, and on social media, I'm not able to get that. Like
So I
maybe
look at
yeah. Go ahead.
I look at that though as a uh this is where everyone's gonna hate me. I see that as a scaling issue. Like
Mm,
like you can't scale that. If to get a sale of your book, someone has to spend like 5 minutes talking with you in person.
hmm.
Like I don't like to me. I'm like, how do you scale that? Um,
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
with social media, people have spent already almost 2 hours with us,
yeah.
and then the one, people will watch this in the morning. And so to me, I'm like, social media can scale that aspect
Right.
uh, uh, of it. But I mean, I get what you're saying. Like you're right. Like the impact of like meeting someone who you're like, oh my gosh, like I read your book. It's almost gonna make the you as the customer an even more like hardcore customer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. And it is like when you go to a comic book store, and like I've had this happen where an employee or a shop owner will like hand me a book and go, "Hey, I read this. I think you would really enjoy this."
Mm,
You know,
that
like
means a lot because then
yeah,
yeah, that goes a
yeah,
long way.
like that's like someone put the extra effort and thought into something, and when they read something, they thought of you. And that's different than someone just like, I mean, sending you a link and going, "Hey, I read this, maybe you'll like this too." Like, I don't know what it is, and it could just be a personality thing, but like i will
You're an old soul, Nandor.
I will take it more seriously, than because I'm like, it's so easy to tell me to pick up this book, within 30 seconds or 15 seconds of tweeting something, but to actually put in the effort to talk to me about it or approach me about it, I'm like, I'm going to take you more
Yeah,
seriously. And that interaction will stick with me, in ways that social media will not. And I think just interacting with creators, I've interacted with people who work at Marvel and DC online, and sent emails and stuff, but actually being in the room with them and talking with them and making that connection with them, um, it just gives me a way better sense of who they are and the person behind, the screen. And um it changes the way that I interact with people on social media.
for sure.
um
It's so
and I
funny that you're talking
Yeah.
about this because like I'm out here like being like, well, you can't scale that, but you can't scale that. You gotta be on YouTube and making these things. But which is so funny because like the problem right now that my company is facing is like every client that I've brought in, I've gone to dinner and met this person like 3 or 4 times, and they're like Tyler, who do you got in the pipeline to bring in as a client? I'm like, well, I'm going to this person. They're like, Tyler, like scale, start making like content about this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but like they'll buy from us if I have that relationship with them, but it's like it's not scalable. So like it's like funny. I'm with you. I'm like it's like more meaningful. Like it's more like we don't have
it's less passive. Maybe that's a good way to look at it.
Yes, exactly.
Like it's more intentional, less passive. It creates that emotional connection or that memory that will make you go, it's gonna last with me. It's gonna stick with me.
Yes.
So yeah, but yeah, definitely. Like I would never like I think Marvel and DC should do a better job at marketing, should do a better job.
We're the
at
pop-up
trying to
ads
get
on the porn
readers in.
sites, man, guys. Like those were hot. That's what got me in.
Like speaking of Scott Snyder, something, and I talked to him about this in New York, because I was at the Retailer Day event, and DC didn't have their marketing person go up and speak to retailers. They had Scott Snyder do it, and I'm sure he was happy to do it. And when I spoke with him about it, he was like, yeah, like I really believe in what we're doing, and I want to share that enthusiasm with retailers. But I thought to myself, I think that's like amazing, and not enough creators at these industries are doing that. We're not seeing maybe enough of that enthusiasm. But I don't know if he should have to do that. Like that's the question of like,
well, he's
kind of the face of the
he's
absolute
the product
universe,
though, but he's
right?
the product.
Yeah.
He is the product. Like look at what we're talking about. Like look how we talk about him. Like we go, oh, it's a Scott Snyder book.
It's so
and we immediately like go this. It's like going, oh, it's a Christopher Nolan movie.
It's so interesting too, because like after the 90s, Marvel and DC like swore like we're not going to let creators get like bigger than the properties, and I feel like I don't know if that will ever happen, like because the whole reason we pick up books is because of the creator, like whether it be the writer or the artist. Because we can always go back and read our favorite Spider-Man stories, but the reason why we're picking up this new Spider-Man story is because this writer.
Dude, I hate team books. I only picked up Justice League because they're like Scott Snyder's buying it. I'm like, all right, I hate most team books, but Scott Snyder hasn't led me astray yet. So, and yeah, so I think I think more creators, and this is I think the problem with like how people view themselves, like art, content, the integrity of the artist. It's like at the end of the day, we're all here selling something. Like your book is the product. You as the creator can be the product. It's like Scott Snyder is a product. If he says, hey, I'm going to do a writing course, people buy that writing course strictly because Scott Snyder is
his name. Yeah.
His name. Yeah. So he is a product. So when and the retailers want to trust that the product has their back.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's probably someone like fucking Godfo watching this like, but like that's just like, I'm sorry, God, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Fuck him. I think, but like that's ultimately like, yeah, like that, like the marketing person's just gonna come up there and be like, yeah, like as we continue to do the funnel and like bring in like they're gonna be like this is dry. They're gonna get flaccid. Like, woo. The moment Scott comes up there, they go. It's almost like, hey, he's one of us. This is a comic book guy. He gets it, and his goal is to make such good stories that people will buy them in our stores.
Yeah.
And like the marketing person's just gonna go up there like, yeah, we hope that like Q4 like looks good, and like
yeah. Right.
You know, Scott
Right.
Snyder is
Well,
saying like, I'm writing good stories and I'm telling people to go buy them at your stores.
well, and maybe, who knows what those conversations are like behind closed doors, but maybe that was the conversation of like, look, Scott, they're not going to listen to us like they will listen to you. And maybe that's why Marvel and DC they don't put in as much marketing, because whether they are saying it or not, they are relying on the names of the people they hire to sell what they have. And also the characters, but like, because I mean, I couldn't even imagine like what is like to be an editor in chief at one of these companies, and like everyone knows who these characters are. So like, what are you marketing to them? Because it's like everyone knows who these characters are. So you almost would have to always think about, um, well, who are we working with now on this character? Like that's the selling point, rather than the character themselves anymore. I always hate it, like when I go into a shop and I pick up a Batman book or a Spider-Man book, and someone's like, oh, you're just buying Batman because it's Batman or whatever. I'm like, no, like actually not. Like I'm actually buying this because I like Matt Fraction and I want to see what he's doing with Batman, because I got all my great Batman stories, but I want to see, and I got my Christopher Nolan movies, like what else can you do with the character? And so I'm here to see what Fraction's going to do, not
To make it
necessarily.
exciting. Batman's already exciting. How
Right.
can Matt Fraction make Batman even more
Yeah, like can
exciting?
you show me something I haven't seen?
Yeah.
And maybe it's not even about that. It's just like getting a new flavor, or getting a new fresh start on something. And so yeah, it must be difficult. It would have to be difficult, and I think that's what makes the Absolute Universe and the Ultimate Universe so interesting, because it's trying to take all of that good faith and goodwill, but shake it up a little bit and have these great starting points for people.
Oh, I just think like the Absolute Universe just shows that people like the characters, they just want to see them do something different.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I agree. I
and I
agree.
like to me I'm like I think they kind of got a taste of it with the Murphyverse with like White
Mm,
Knight. It's like, hey, like this is not in canon and I'm going to change some elements, and he didn't go super crazy. And I think you have Scott who's like, well, what if I did go crazy? And I flipped it, and
yeah.
he's the perfect person to do that. And I don't know, like I wouldn't be surprised if you had more people. I think my biggest problem with the Absolute Universe is now it's just getting like too big. It's like a whole universe
Hmm.
instead of just like you know.
it's becoming what it's supposed to
Yeah,
be. Yeah.
exactly. Like I think I'd rather just like have like an absolute Batman, and it's just like I almost don't want him to interact with Superman and or Wonder Woman. I
Right.
just
Right.
keep
Yeah.
it, because then it's just gonna get kerfuffled. Then you're gonna have all this like continuity stuff again, and it's like all the problems that I have with mainstream comics. But like I wouldn't be surprised if maybe like somehow they get James Tynion back in and he's able to make his the Tynion universe, and it's way different than the Absolute or the main canon. And that's just
Hmm.
what, but it's just a different take, and people are like, oh, it's still Batman, but it's a different take on him. And maybe there is a version of Batman where he's just a killer, but there's a really good reason why.
Yeah.
And people, and that resonates with people who are like, yes, finally, it was driving me crazy that Batman was never freaking killing these guys.
Yeah.
So like to me, I'm never gonna get this. I want a Batman series that's like that feels like a Criminal Minds episode,
Mm.
where like it's just like the murder of the week, and they've got to like find the serial killer and
Yeah.
do all the detective work. And I don't want explosions and that's what I want. And
Yeah. Yeah.
or another version is a Batman where he does his Batman stuff, but a lot of it's like the Bruce Wayne stuff where he's going against like really high, like bad billionaires who are doing really bad things, but he has to use his status as Bruce Wayne to like get
Right.
into these dark rooms of like, we're making these deals to take down the city, and he's only able to get in because of being billionaire Bruce Wayne, and like we're gonna short the stock, and he's like, oh, that's not good. And then Batman comes like, don't short the stock, and like and I like I don't know, but like to me there's all these different ways, and I think you could do that, like because I haven't read main, like I'm kind of over main canon Batman. I stopped reading Batman after the Joker War.
Right.
I was like, oh, he got away again, and I threw the comic across the room. I was like this homeless clown burnt down the city, took your wealth, and he still got away, like off panel too. Like they're like Jim, what happened to him? Oh, he escaped, and I was like, threw the comic across my room.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think I agree with you. I think with social media, I don't think it has necessarily the biggest impact on sales.
Mhm.
But also I don't know, like, dude, like I'm seeing a lot more comic book TikTok of people talking about
Yeah,
like,
I like
yeah,
that. I
I
like
like
seeing
that
that.
too.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah, I
hoping
love I
that
love watching those videos of people like, "This is what I picked up this week," you know,
yes,
and, like,
exactly.
they're sharing what they're buying, and it's like, and I believe you and I trust you because you actually have it there with you rather than, yeah, I don't know, someone just making a picture post about it and
Oh,
being like, "Oh,
dude,
I," you know, like, I don't know if you bought
I've
those,
been in
like, who knows?
marketing for 10 years, and there's this thing called UGC creators, and it's just the people who are like they're just all they do is shill products, and you
Yeah.
pay them to shill products for you. And um we were working with a health company, and I was like, we lost them as a client, which I was so happy that we lost them because they sucked. But we were like, crap, like we gotta like spread this health whatever pill. How do we do this? And so someone was like, oh, let's just do UGC content. I was like, sweet, here's $500, pay a bunch of people. They were like,
Mm.
hey, let's pay this one person. And they're like, and like a day later, they're like, hey, the person made the video. I'm like, okay. I was like, how'd they make the video? Like, we haven't even gotten the product to our place to ship it out
Mm.
to them. And they go, oh, they just made a video. I went, okay, let's see what they say. And like the person's like, guys, every single day I use this product, ding picture, in order, and it was like this like 5 minute sales pitch, and it was so believable. They were literally saying like, the reason why I'm able to have the life that I have is because I take this pill. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy is just lying. This
Yeah,
guy's just like
that's
straight up lying. And
oh,
I was
man.
like, it just ruined like short form content for me, where I was like, now if I see people like you
Point out a picture.
like
Yeah,
or
yeah.
even like this can is saving my life, I'm like, drink it, I don't believe you, like
Yeah,
you need to
yeah.
drink it for me. So but yeah, like those comic book calls, like they like this Wednesday's comic book call, boom, they have a stack, and you're like, let's go through it, man.
Yeah, let's do it. I wanna see what you got, and I
And
wanna
that's
see what you're
yeah, that's
enjoying.
good community. I even like there are some UGC creators for comic book shops who, but like they'll hold the book. They'll be like, "Yo, it's in the TikTok shop. Go check out Long Halloween." And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's great. Like that comics is resonating with, and like the community members are making content, and they're like making money off of shilling their books. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan, and I think, you know, anytime I see young people picking up comics,
You're
it's
just
like,
like, yes.
yeah, I'm like, man, like, where have you been? You know, like, and and I, you know, I've always been a big proponent of the mainstream, and you know, while I love indie books and I'm a huge supporter of indie books, um, you know, if Marvel and DC ever went away, like indie comics would suffer so much, I feel like. So I am like all about trying to make a healthy industry all around, and I want there to be a healthy industry all around. And if people are finally picking up these characters again and checking out these characters, whether it be, you know, miniseries or whatnot, but any way to get get in the door, or you know, to be reading it on the DC app or the Marvel Unlimited app or whatever, um, I think it's really good for people to be able to talk about comics together. And that's something that I miss. And I feel like not enough people, you know, a lot of people who are like, yeah, I haven't read Marvel and DC in like, you know, 5, 10 years or whatever. It's like, well, like things change, like things do get better sometimes.
Also, like,
But
my big pet peeve is when creators who are like, "Oh, I don't read any comics," and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
like Marvel and DC, they put out like 20 plus books a month. They're like, they can't all be bad.
yeah. There's something there for you.
Yeah, like there is something.
There's one book, right? You know.
Yeah, like you can find it. Like I remember I couldn't find anything on Marvel, like with Marvel. I'm not the biggest Marvel fan anyways, but like I picked up that Vision book with Tom King and I was
Hmm.
like, wow, this is like the best thing I've ever read at the time.
Yeah.
I hate Tom King now. But
We've talked about that.
yeah, I hate Tom King. He writes like a robot, so that's why the Vision was so good because the guy's a robot. But like you can find stuff.
You gotta check out his Black. Do you like wrestling at all, or no?
No.
Okay, okay. Well, that wouldn't be a good recommendation. But he did a Black Canary book recently. That was really good.
Oh really?
Yeah,
He's at Marvel?
yeah. No, no, it's DC Black Canary.
Black
Yeah.
Canary. Black Canary. Oh, Dina. I'm like I was
Yeah.
thinking of Black Cat for some reason.
Right, right.
Now everyone who's like watching this who hates me is like, oh look, there's comic book tourist Tyler not able to freaking do this. Sorry guys. I was like Black Canary. She's not someone I like associate with having like a main title.
Yeah, no, it was a really good mini series that he did with Ryan Sook. I'm a big fan of Ryan Sook's art, but I think it went kind of under the radar a little bit. But it was if you like wrestling, because it's about like who is the best, and like who is the best martial artist, and it was
Well, the art looks great. Holy crap.
yeah. I feel like you would enjoy it if not just for maybe some of the there's some shonen aspects like elements to it.
Yeah,
I
like
feel
this
like you
fighting
would
page
enjoy it.
looks cool.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
There's a lot
I
of
will
that.
give this. This is my problem. I'm like, Tom King is like the ex that beats you up. Like I'm a domestic violence survivor with Tom King, where it's like, oh sorry baby, like I'll get better, and you go okay, I trust you, and then you get back in the relationship, and they like freaking beat the shit out of you. Like that's how I feel about Tom King. Like he is the king to me of creating awesome concepts. Where
Mhm.
like I read the description and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great, and I see Tom King, I'm like, guy's not gonna be able to execute on it. Like that
Yeah.
like that Batman like Out of Time book.
Oh yeah, Killing Time.
Killing Time.
Yeah.
I read the description, I was like, oh, this is sick, and then it was a Tom King one. Luckily, it was on Global Comics. I hated every moment reading that. I hated it,
Ah.
but the art was so good. And I
Yeah.
hate that Tom King gets set up with so many good artists. Like I think of like Clayman, and I'm like, why
Yeah.
is Clayman doing all these Tom King books? Like this guy deserves to be with someone else. Or oh, that's a cool panel. All right, I'll have to check this out. Or Mitch Gerards.
Yeah.
Gerards. I'm like, gosh, like I hate Mitch.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle, Strange Adventures. He did that. Did you read the you probably didn't, but the
the Human
Riddler
Target.
one shot that
Oh, I
one bad
did.
day Riddler?
I-
Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
It was okay. So I'll give Tom
Yeah.
King. I was like, it was okay. I think Mitch. I love Mitch's Batman and like his art style. It's so
Right.
dark and inky. So like, I think I mostly enjoyed it for the art.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that was a like last Tom King book where I was like, all right, this is acceptable. This is acceptable. But this looks good. See,
it's
guys,
a great book. It's a great mother-daughter story. Because like, DC's all about legacy, right? And like it's all about taking up the mantle of, the hero prior. And Dinah Lance's mom was the Black Canary, and then she can't be the Black Canary anymore. And it's about her taking on Lady Shiva and like who is gonna be the best, of like who's the best fighter. Yeah, I thought it was beautiful. There's a really great twist at the end that I thought just like gut punched me. It's really good.
dang. All right, I'll have to read this and I will make a video and report back. Are you excited for this DCKO?
That looks fun. I'm honestly not for the event itself. I'm actually really excited for. There's a Joshua Williamson is writing a a Batman like tie-in called Night Fight, and it's about um Dick, Tim, Jason, uh, and um, Damian. They're all like their Batman forms, and they're all fighting Bruce. Um,
Is Bruce
and
bad or are they bad?
well, they're each having to compete against one another. I think like Bruce is knocked out of the competition, and he has to fight all of his Robins as if they were like prime Batman or Batman.
Interesting.
Um,
Night Fight.
yeah, and yeah, Dan Moore is doing the art, so it's
Dan
gonna
Moore
be
is doing the
insane.
art.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. But yeah, he's taking on like Dick's Batman, Damien's Batman, Tim's Batman, and like they all have their different costumes, and they're all going to be fighting against each other in this tournament. So
That's cool.
um,
And you get like the uniqueness. Like Damien and Jason will be like more brutal, and
right,
Dick will be
right,
like more of an acrobatic Batman.
yeah, I think
Tim will be a
like
little more
that to me,
calculated.
yeah, that to me is like I want to see that fight. I want to see like all the different Robins like in their prime if they were like the best that they could possibly be as Batman and take on Bruce.
That's cool.
Um,
I love Dan Mora's art. He's so
I
good.
got to meet him actually. He was amazing. And really sweet, really kind. Great guy.
Dude, I think Dan Mora and like Jorge Jimenez are like
Yeah.
DC's like they're their peak right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Jorge's line in New York was always the longest.
Was it really?
Yeah, every time I'd go over there,
It's because he's
like
so freaking hot.
yeah.
Guy's a freaking stud. Look at that.
Yeah.
Dude, you know you have someone like freaking you just have like who's the Spider-Man writer? Did you know you have like fucking ugly troll Dan Slott just looking at Jorge Jimenez just like "Oh, he's not one of us."
Like he can't be a nerd, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like this guy's just like he's so sexy.
Yeah, I think he has a beautiful wife or girlfriend
He
too. Like,
does.
they're just, like beautiful people.
Yeah, like he's the reference photo. Yeah,
Right.
he's like, okay, what would Batman look like? Let me take my shirt off real quick and draw these
He's
muscles.
he's like, honey, just take a few pictures of me.
Exactly.
Like,
Like you know that this is him and his wife.
yeah.
So yeah, no,
Yeah.
DC's got really good talent right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing well.
Marvel hasn't come out anything that I've wanted to read in a really long time. I think the last
Yeah.
Marvel title I picked up was Mark Wade and Chris Samney's Black Widow.
That was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the last.
Yeah,
That's the last Marvel.
that's not a
book I read.
bad that's not a bad choice. I've been getting all the Ultimate stuff. I am sad it's gonna end, but I'm actually I feel like it's a really bold move because
To end it.
yeah, because we as comic book fans, like we're always like, why doesn't stories ever end? And now that we're getting a story that ends, we're like, why is it ending? So it's like we're happy until we're not, and we can never make up our mind. But
Yeah, like I hope that the Absolute Universe ends,
yeah,
and it's just like this was like this really cool definitive moment in time that you can
right,
pick up and
right.
read. I kind of treat the MCU like that. Like I kind of just go like it ended with Endgame and everything else is just extra.
Yes.
Um,
I agree with you. I think there's something to be said for like it was all leading to this moment, and we had the moment,
and
and we're done. Like
yeah,
stories have to end. Like it's not a story anymore, and you know
yeah, it's a
with certain
living, breathing organism at that point.
yeah, especially in TV and film, it makes a lot of sense because these actors are not going to be able to play the characters forever. In comics it's a little different, but I think that anytime you have the opportunity to end a run on a high note, like you should do it.
Do you think they should have ended at Endgame and just knocked it off?
I think so. Or at least I wish they would have put some of the characters I really loved more in the forefront of the next phases rather than some of the new characters.
Like they didn't
Like they
have to.
were
They could have introduced the new characters later. They still had enough like undeveloped
yeah.
characters.
Yeah, for sure. And what while I love Sam and I love Falcon, like I grew up reading when Bucky became Captain America, when Winter Soldier became Captain America with
Mm.
the Ed Brubaker, Steve Epting run.
Such a freaking good run. I've got that like
Yeah.
whole run and right over there.
But like Winter Soldier was like the hottest MCU character for a while. Like everyone loved him. And I feel like they really sidelined Bucky after Endgame, because they wanted Falcon to be Captain America. And I feel like eventually they still could have made Falcon Captain America, but I feel like Bucky should have had his moment to
Yeah,
do
they
that.
like even in like Thunderbolts, I was like, he is just this like I didn't watch the show, so I'm like, why is he in politics? Why isn't he doing cool stuff?
Yeah, like, well, that I really hated that creative decision because there's no like you're gonna have this Cold War assassin like get into politics, like
And
what?
he clearly know, and like he's not even a good politician.
Right, right,
Like he knows nothing, but he's trying to do spy stuff there.
yeah,
So yeah, I agree. They didn't they didn't
and
do cool stuff.
like I'm trying to think of other characters I love Carol Danvers, I love Captain Marvel, but it seemed like they didn't really know how to use her correctly with all the ensemble and you know it unfortunately we lost the actor for Black Panther, and it's like like I loved Black Panther, and I feel like they could have done more, but
Yeah.
it just didn't work out, and I feel like there was more there that they could have tried to work with.
I was sad I'm sad like we never got like they made the Black Widow movie too late. I was
Correct, yeah,
where was
and
like
that's a great movie. Like I still
yeah,
like that movie.
where like this should have been
But
like a Jason Bourne style trilogy.
yeah,
Like like in like somewhere in between like the beginning and of Endgame. Like where was that? And same with like I wish that we had gone like I don't like more Hawkeye content. Like
hmm,
I actually really liked the show,
yeah.
but I'm actually I'm actually really pissed off that I don't have a Kate Bishop and like Yelena movie. Like
That would be
where
cool.
they just I
Yeah.
don't know, it's like a road trip of
Or like Kate Bishop could have been, in Thunderbolts or something.
yeah, exactly. They've kind of just like sidelined that character, and it saddens me
Yeah.
because I really liked when they announced Haley Steinfeld. I like I think I made a tweet like 5 years prior to it. Was like if they make Haley Steinfeld like Kate Bishop, like that'll be golden. When they did it, I found that old tweet and was like, I called it. I called it.
Yeah, yeah. I will say, Fantastic Four I thought was great. And I haven't been this excited for, an MCU film like Doomsday like for a long time. So,
You like? I haven't seen it. It was good.
well, no, Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
or yeah. I thought it was great. I got the steel book. I
Oh
got the physical
shit.
copy too. Yeah, and it's the most. I'm a big Jonathan Hickman fan and his Fantastic Four run, and it's the most like Hickman-esque Fantastic Four adaptation that we've gotten. So I appreciated that, and I thought all the actors did a good job. And it's self-contained. Like it's what we want from Marvel, where it's like why do you have all these cameos and you're doing all of these like plot threads and trying to tie, like you can just watch Fantastic Four and not know anything.
And just
Like
and
you could,
like just enjoy it.
yeah,
Like how you
just
could like
enjoy
how
it.
you used to be able to watch like the original like Iron Man, Thor.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you were going in and you're watching the first Thor movie or the first Captain America
And you're
movie.
like,
Like,
that was good. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. I'll have to go check.
So it's a great family movie, and it does a good job like hitting that home. and there's some great, like, they actually get to be space explorers in this movie, and that's something that the FF has always been, but they've never really been able to show.
Is that they
Like,
are
not,
like like they're space people.
yeah,
They're
yeah, like
astronauts and crap.
they're going into space to go find Galactus and find his ship, and I'm like, well, that's awesome. Like, usually it's always, oh, we're defending Earth and Galactus is coming to Earth, and like there's still that there, but like not until the very, very end. So like you get to see them operate in their comfort zone.
That's awesome. I have to go. I have to go check that out. Nandor, we were only supposed to go for an hour, but we went for 2.
I love it. Yeah.
Caden, I didn't even see this chat. Caden went clipped, sent to Tony, caught in 4K. Don't do this, man. Don't start. I don't want to start another war.
I wonder what clip he's talking about.
I don't know. I don't think I ever said anything bad about Tony. I was very polite here. I didn't mention him one time.
Well, we did get another backer, so
That was me.
oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
I was like,
You got me over 2,400.
There we go. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna forget after the stream if I don't do it right now. No, yeah, no. I got no enemies in Andor. I got no beefs with people. I've got none. I think they got beefs with me. I don't. You probably know more than I do. Guys, go check out Seasons Volumes 1 and 2, Spring and Summer. Trade paperback, over 200 pages. And I didn't realize this before the stream, but $15 for a paperback graphic novel is unheard of when it comes to Kickstarter. Typically, that's what you're paying for like single issues. So, yeah. Like, the book is finished. If you need proof that the book is finished, I've got them right here as hardcover versions. So now's a great time to jump on the series. If anything, try out Volume 1. And if you like it, I'm sure you can find Nandor online and get Volume 2. But I think it's also just a good time to, like, if you want to jump in the series, to be prepared for Volume 3 in the future. So it's just a good time to jump in the series.
Yeah, we're gonna fulfill this campaign and launch Volume 3 shortly after fulfillment. Like, that's my plan. That's what I'd like to do. And get everyone on board, everyone ready for it. We only have 16 days left, so we're almost halfway funded. But I'm really excited. This was a strange one because it's the first time I've ever like re-released something, and I was worried about re-releasing something, and if people would show up for it. But so far, we're doing well, so I'm optimistic and this campaign.
This is definitely like a new reader campaign. Like,
yeah,
like you're gonna have to get all new readers into this, or just the diehard collector who's like, it's in paperback now. But
yeah, right. And that's what I want. Like, I'm trying to find my readers, and I'm trying to find, keep capturing an audience that may have picked up one of my other books, since I released the hardcovers, and it's like, oh, I never did check out Seasons. Like, well, now's the time. Like, this is where to go to do it.
I've always like wondered with like Kickstarters. Like, I have the series Demons, and like it's never done buku bucks on Kickstarters. Like, I'm always lucky if I hit like $1,500 on a campaign for that book. But like, I have it as an add-on. And I always sell like 10 copies per campaign.
Yeah.
And so there's a part of me that's like, and I've done like 3 print runs on it. There's a part of me that's like, what if I just like keep doing a campaign every 2 years, and because the book's done, and I just like, and I just like maybe put out like a new cover for it, and you get people in that way. Like, maybe if you find the cover that like, this is where people are like, where's your artistic integrity? But maybe I create a cover for it that hits like 20K. And it's like, oh, that's the cover that was going to get more eyeballs on it. But I don't know. I've always thought about this. I'm like, when I'm looking at Seasons, I'm like, we've already done those campaigns. But this is just another opportunity to get new readers into it. And there's nothing bad about it. Like, that's what we should be doing.
Yeah, well, it's what we do, if we're doing single issues, right? And then we do the trade paperback campaign, because
Yeah, exactly. And then the
it's like, well,
omnibus, and then the
yeah, yeah, and then and this is what Marvel and DC does as well. It's like you that's how you make your money back, because you have the different editions, and after all four volumes are out, like I'm gonna do an omnibus, like
you
I
have
have
to,
to.
you have
Yeah,
to,
you have to.
and there's
You
nothing
know,
wrong with it. I mean, like, how many versions of Hush have they created?
right,
Like,
right.
and I'm sure it's like not. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's just a net positive because it's just like I found a version of Hush that was like a graphic novel, but it was only part one. And I was
Mm.
like, "Whoa, there's a part one, which means there's a part two." But I was like, "This is a thing." Like they at some
They
point,
split it up,
there was
you
a
know?
split up, and then they went, "Oh,
Yeah.
let's create the full thing." And then they have the black and white version, the hardcover black and white version, the new Jim Lee 10th anniversary cover version, and now they
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
compact version. And
Yeah, and I remember I was browsing my local shop, and I saw someone picking up one of the new, manga size trade paperback DC, direct editions of Watchmen, and I was like, "Oh, have you ever read Watchmen before?" And he's like, "No, like this will be my first
you're just
time."
like, "How have
And
you not read Watchmen yet?"
yeah,
But
yeah. Well, there was that, but I'm like, I'm really glad you're picking it up, and I imagine you're probably only picking it up because it is 9.99, and
oh,
it is this
fair, yeah,
format. You know what I mean? Like it is the smaller format that you are
accustomed
like
to.
maybe accustomed to. Yeah. So I'm like, any way, yeah, to get new readers, it's like you got to try it and see what sticks.
And you might, I mean, gosh, like you could, maybe you do Seasons Omnibus Volume 1, which is Seasons Volume 1 and 2 combined.
Right.
And like
Right.
there's all these
or
different
or
ways.
even manga editions, because it is kind of like
Oh yeah, you could totally do a
like
compact
smaller,
version.
yeah, like smaller versions.
Oh heck yeah.
And shout out to Frank Martin and his new campaign with Gerald, like doing I think he has like a manga sized edition that they're selling, and a hardcover and a trade
No,
paperback, and
fuck
I'm
Frank
like,
Martin. We don't want to talk good about him here. No, I'm just messing with him. That's awesome. I love Frank. That's awesome. That's awesome. But it's like try things out. Like there's nothing wrong. Yeah, you might maybe you find out that the manga edition and that combines volumes 1 and 2, now it's like, hey, it's a trade paperback version. It's black and white,
yeah,
and I'm able to get the cost down. And because the format, it costs less to print at a smaller size.
right, right,
Like the reason why I'm able to do these for $15, 200 pages, is because it's a smaller size than the typical your
right.
typical book. So like then you can maybe get the cost down for the consumer, and maybe that's when Seasons just goes up because they're like, this is the format.
This is the format I want to read it on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think format is so interesting because it changes people's perception of how to interact with it, like just changing the size of a book can make someone pick it up. And that's so interesting to me. Like there's a psychology behind that I think is so fascinating.
Well, like those, like the DC like deluxe noir editions, like if you're gonna put the word deluxe in it, like
Yeah.
what's the deluxe? And it's like it's the sizing, it's the binding, it's the format of it. You're like,
It's
oh,
the dust jacket. Yeah.
exactly. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
but then if it's like the 9.99 version, it's like smaller. It's like they're like these are the compact versions, and you're like,
Right.
all right. And the paper is not as like glossy. It's more like newspapery. It's
Right.
uncoated,
Right.
so you're just like, okay, yeah, this is a 9.99 book,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it makes sense,
I'm hoping that those are killing it.
I think they are. I think they really have done a good job for DC in ways that maybe they didn't even anticipate. But I see my store stocked with them and keep restocking them, and it's just so affordable for
Oh
people.
yeah,
Like,
and they do
and
it, and they do like the full runs like of certain
yes,
books, which is
yeah, it's
like,
a complete story.
yeah.
Yeah,
And every time they go like, this is the next lineup, I'm like, all right, I'm getting these three of the next
right.
12 I'm getting. And oh look, then the next rollout, it's like I'm getting these five. And I'm almost like excited as a I'm excited as a reader, like every time they're like, "Hey, this is the next rollout of these compact."
The next wave.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
like, which
yeah.
ones am I gonna get? And like that's good energy that you want from older fans. To
Hmm.
because now I'm gonna buy stuff that I maybe thought about, but like because some of these like DC graphic novels that are like the 4 issues, I'm like $17 for this
Yeah.
like shitty paperback. Like it's like now it's not worth it. But yeah,
Yeah.
$9.99 on this like and they're all thick stories. They have yet to do like a very thin one for 99. Like, it's always like they're all like at least 10 issues,
Right.
and it
Right.
feels
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. It's that would be difficult if you're trying to like print certain runs, but there's only, like they're only like 60 pages or something. It's like, oh, like if there was a short graphic novel that was
Is
really.
is there an Arkham Asylum compact?
I think there is. I think so.
Arkham Asylum
That's got to be pretty thin, right?
compact DC. Oh, look at that. PSA
Avoid.
avoid Arkham. That's so.
Don't pick this
Oh,
one
it's
up.
just they're talking about how the print is so tiny, which is
Oh
fair because
yeah.
it's like handwritten.
See, that would bother me. Yeah.
Yeah, but also like it's it's like 60 pages. Yeah, they did do one. How many pages is it?
Yeah, I wonder how that feels.
Disappointing. Let's see, where's the pages? 140. So I wonder if they have like I think I have a 144 page version. It has like the script, it has all the
Yeah.
thumbnails, all the sketch
Back
pages.
matter.
Yeah, all the back matter. That's cheating, but I mean,
That's content.
yeah, I mean, I bought that version because
It's
I
not
wanted
art, but it's
it.
content.
Yeah, I wanted it. So, Nander, where
Yeah.
where can people find you?
Yeah, so I want to direct everyone to my newsletter, foxholecomics.substack.com,
Hold on, let's.
and subscribe there. I do, articles and let you know what I'm up to, where I'm going to be. Yeah, that's me. And then you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Foxhole Comics, and you can find me on X and Instagram and Facebook at Nondor Fox, at Nondor Fox Schaefer.
I'm not pledging Nandor, but I will.
Well, thank
I will
you.
subscribe to
Appreciate
your
it.
newsletter. I always need more comic book creator newsletters. I love
Yeah,
Substack.
this year I love Substack too. One of our other topics that we didn't get to, maybe we can talk about it some other time, but was like our biggest regrets. And like one of my biggest regrets in indie comics was not starting a newsletter sooner.
Mm.
And I really do enjoy it, and I love Substack. It's made it so much easier to get a hold of, and to figure out how it works, and there's even the social media aspect to it now, where you can interact with people and follow people rather than subscribe to them, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, you can see like the
Um,
notes section, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
I have a business on the side that uses Substack. I have several Substacks,
Mm.
and like I have this one. I haven't posted in forever. It's not even showing. That's fine. It's called the Webtoonist. I got to 1,000 subscribers in
Yeah.
like a month, and then I
Wow.
went. It was an experiment. I was like, could I do this? And then I did it, and I went, cool, and I stopped doing it.
Say goodbye.
Yeah, and I wish I hadn't done that. But yeah, like I have like another business on the side, and it's built on Substack. And I met this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, you should be doing newsletters." I'm like, "Oh yeah, like I do newsletters." He goes, "Nice, I use Substack," and I was like, "Hey, me too." And he's like, "Yeah, I make like 200,000 a month on my Substack," and I went. I
Holy
went,
moly.
what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing Substack wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think I
yeah.
think I think Substack was one of the best things ever for comic book creators. And Nick Spencer was a huge reason why they gave out kind of these like scholarships or loans, to creators, grants, I should say, um, to flock over to it. And um, it brought a lot of people over to the platform, and to me, it's so user friendly and so easy to work with. So
To me, like when creators are like what should I do for my email list? Like Substack like doesn't have like the best features for email
hmm
marketing, but like they are a company who is like actively like their whole goal is to bring readers to the app. Like
yeah,
that's their only like they just did another round of seed funding. Like I think a series like C. And the whole goal is just so they can get more readers onto the platform for these writers. And
hmm
it's
yeah,
like okay, this is a great platform. Like I went like 2 months where I was like, I have to make a note. I have to post on my Substack once or twice a week and make like 3 or 4 notes a week. I
yeah.
think I was averaging like 5 subscribers a day that month.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
and I was like, oh, this is great. And like some of them started buying, and then like I saw like an increase in my like online sales that month. So it was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. And then I stopped because I got tired. But like I was like, oh, like there's like it was an easy correlation to be like, oh, like this is where it should be. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're
Well,
doing
and
I'm glad you're doing Substack.
yeah, and this year has been the best. I think the best year for me in comics. Like it really has. I've gotten 2 publishing deals. I've been able to, um, fulfill my last Kickstarter campaign for Manchild, and launch this one, and have seen a good amount of growth in a lot of the things that I've been working on. So, um, I'm it's a marathon, and it's just been a lot of perseverance and trying to see what works and what I feel like I can offer and what I'm good at offering to people.
Yes, you should check out Substack. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah, yeah. So guys, go check out Nandor's Substack. It's super easy. It's free to
It's
subscribe.
free. And I
Uh,
hope to eventually do I would like to do like a Substack exclusive comic at some point.
that'd be so cool.
But we'll see like what that looks like. But like I've always wanted to try that, and I've seen other people do it. Um, I did do an entire series on like how I made my first comic, and so if there are people out there that are like just the bare basic bare bones of like how do you make comics, like that's on there too. So
You know, you can like tag like that series,
yeah.
and then like you could have a tab up here. So then like I can just click like how to
Oh,
make.
cool. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can do that. Something that I learned, and like I stopped doing it, and I should I like every time I go like I got success, and then I stopped doing it. Is like I created like these tabs,
Oh, that's so cool.
and
Okay.
like I have like these reviews, and like but these don't go out to my followers. So you
Mm.
just like publish them, but it still goes out into the Substack ecosystem, but it doesn't
Okay.
get emailed to people.
Doesn't get
And
emailed, but okay.
I've started getting some traffic because when someone types on Google like "ain't no grave," like my Substack pops up.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, oh, I just should like it's just sometimes like when it comes to like creating content, like I don't want to come like make a video sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah.
like at people like oh, Tyler just like makes videos. I'm a writer. I want to write. I like writing. I write all day
Mhm.
at my work. So it's like when I get done reading a comic, I should just like really quick write a quick review
Yeah.
and then post some images. And now like I think I've gone like it's like not a lot, but like I've gone like 5 subscribers from this one and like 2 like and it just happens like it happened like the week I posted them.
Yeah. It's organic,
Yeah.
you know.
You can put like access digital books. I put one up here and um I just put the pages and then I was like if you want to read the rest like you can download
Like
it
on your
here
Oh, okay.
or you could like then put the paywall for them to pledge to
Right.
your
Yeah.
Substack. So yeah, you can do like a lot of this one just takes onto my site, but yeah, you can do
Cool.
like a lot of really cool things on Substack.
Yeah, it's almost like It's a landing page, but also like a link tree at the same time
Yeah.
where you can, yeah,
Like
put.
I have this newsletter called the Manga Cafe. It has 500 subscribers. I haven't posted one thing. And this is like an AI image that I
That's
made.
funny.
This is like in 2023. I still get
Still get people,
I
huh?
still get people. I've never posted once.
That's strange.
I just had an
Wow.
idea and then I went, nah. But I have it in my recommended, and I've
Yeah.
never posted a single thing. And also like this is like my personal Substack, but like I created a separate one that's just about like marketing.
Okay.
And so it's like cuz maybe like my readers don't care about marketing, but
Yeah.
maybe creators would. So
Right.
like here's like my marketing one. So like that's another thing is like that I love about Substack is you can have multiple Substacks and they're all in your profile area.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird how like I initially thought like your profile is your newsletter, but it's actually separate.
Yeah.
Like you can have your newsletter, but also a profile and have multiple different newsletters. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like I have the only thing I don't like is that like your profile needs to stay like I try to launch another like a more like marketing business to professionals and
mhm.
I tied it to this Substack, but then it was like 9 to 5 growth Manga Cafe and in my profile, and I was trying to, and if I did like a note that was more professional about like marketing and stuff on Substack, then it was like the next one's like, hey, back My Sexy Witch Academia, and it was just like, okay, so this isn't really like going, so I had to create a whole other Substack profile.
Gotcha.
That's just
Yeah.
like Tyler Carpenter, marketing awesome person, and this one's like Tyler Carpenter, Draw and Talk comics.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love Substack. And then and then you can like rank. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Like in when I was in what's his face's Discord, Travis's Discord.
Yeah.
They would always like joke like, hey, like I'm beating like Jonathan Hickman's Substack this
Oh
week.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Okay. The rising in comics.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
they would always joke like, hey, like just to let you know, like I'm better than Scott Snyder today for 5 minutes.
For like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, like rising. Let's see if I recognize anyone here.
Yeah, I'm always curious how that works.
But what's great as well is like you can think of this Substack as networking. So like
Yeah.
you could go to like, let's just go Stephen Beals, and you could say, hey, like, do you want to do a post swap? And
Mhm.
and then I tell my subscribers to come subscribe to you and vice versa.
Oh,
And like
okay.
and then that's how you can like quote unquote like collab. Or it's like, hey, let's do a comic together, and I'll write it and I'll post it, and you'll get subscribers and I'll get subscribers. Yeah, there's just a lot of different ways that you can monetize your Substack.
You can
and
collaborate. Yeah.
yeah,
with other
and grow it,
newsletters.
because like
Yeah.
all these people are trying to grow. They want more subscribers.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, let's do a swap. I'll write something on yours, you write something on mine, or vice versa, or we create something where it's like a 2-page comic, but page 1's on mine and page 2's on yours.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that.
I'm just filled with good ideas, man. No, but no, those are just some things I've read about Substack.
You got the idea and then you do it and then you abandon it.
I'm the king of abandoning it. I'm the king of abandon. You know what's so funny is I was saying how like my business need clients, and in February I created this like YouTube channel, and I made for this particular niche in business, and I created 3 videos, set up all like the marketing and the forms and the emails and all the automations, and then I did it for 3 days, and I went, all right, well, I'm busy, I'm gonna like leave it. And YouTube gave me a notification yesterday. I was like, congrats, like your video hit 200 views. And I'm like, what video are you talking about? I haven't posted in forever. And I was like, oh, it's on that channel that I made in February. And I was like, oh, like let me just jump on the email that I made for it, and I had like all the like new lead, person wants more information, new lead, and I was like, oh crap, like my business partner's like, where's the new clients? I'm like, evidently they're
Right
here,
there.
and I haven't been doing it, so I haven't been looking
Yeah.
at it. So, um, no, Nandor, we're gonna have you come on the show more since I can clearly. Sometimes it's hard. It's like, do I want to bring on someone, and I'm not gonna be able to have a conversation with them more than 10 minutes? But we clearly are able to do close to like three. So,
Yeah. No, I mean these are I think really relevant discussions, and I think they're a lot of what people talk about, what a lot of creators think about and talk about. So
this is what they argue about on Twitter. We just come in here and
yeah, yeah.
have them
And
discussed.
I remember I wrote something about it wasn't during the like
Oh shoot.
I remember like I quoted something about like what it's like to work with an artist, and um you know what it, what is collaboration, like what have I learned through it and from it. And I just like I had a guy who was like, everyone knows, like this party is more important or this party is more important, and I'm like, that's not the point. Like that's not what I'm trying to say, and I really disengage. Like I cannot engage with very nuanced discussions on Twitter, because it just never turns out, even the things that I want to say and that I feel like I'm writing clearly, it's just never taken the way that I expect to.
Like,
So
how did you
I
not understand what I just wrote?
yeah, like I that's why all I do is try to talk about things that I enjoy on social media, and I prefer having a discussion through live stream or in person way more if it's something that
Dude,
is a discussion.
that's why like whenever I get into like a Twitter back and forth with someone, I'm always like, can we just get on a live stream? Like
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're not getting it, I'm not getting it. And I and I
clearly,
and I think we can get it. I think we'll meet in the middle. I think if anything, it'll just be a really good conversation. And I'm always
hmm
shocked how many creators are like, "No, I don't want to. I'm gonna run away." And
yeah,
it's like let's just have a conversation. Like if we bite, we bite. If we just don't bite, like. But at the end of the day, it's like I can't like stab you across my webcam. Like, and
hopefully
if
not.
anything, like maybe we
Maybe
have
with words.
yeah, exactly, maybe we have those discussions and you have better points and the audience is like, yeah, like we like this better points, and maybe like you win over some people
hmm
with your points. And like at the end of the day, like we've talked about it on here, like people are buying books right now because of personality. It just happens that they're like, it's like they're picking good book. They're like, luckily these creators make good books, but
Yeah,
a lot of it
yeah,
is personality. Like I've bought several Scott Snyder books that maybe I didn't like, but I
hmm
bought it initially because I'm like, I'm gonna trust you because you're Scott Snyder. Um, I have bought several books off from Tom King just because of that one Vision book. I'm like, maybe he'll hit the mark, but it's typically a personality. It's personality plus that I was impressed,
yeah.
and so maybe you come in, maybe it's hostile territory. Nandor, maybe you come into the Drawn Talk stream and everyone's like, fuck Nandor. And then you come up,
Yeah, I did something really wrong if that
yeah,
happened.
and then you drop a nugget and people are like, okay, so like Nandor's dropping nuggets and
hmm
we kind of fuck with Nandor, and that will win people over.
Yeah,
That will be
yeah.
bad if you're in a
I think
situation like that.
I think it's really important that people be able to talk, and whether it be about comics or just I don't know, just in general, like you have to be able to talk with people, and sometimes it can get uncomfortable, but a lot of the time I feel like it's mostly misunderstandings and just reading into things that maybe are not there.
Like,
but
oh,
how will
like
you
they're
know?
oh, like, oh, they're like doing this to like ruin my life or personally attack me. It's like, no, I'm just
Yeah,
kind of just trying to want. I'm like, it's maybe it's like, no, I genuinely want to know what your opinion is and understand it
yeah,
better. I really enjoyed us like trying to do the whole content and art thing, and we were just working off of each other's ideas and trying to come up with something, and we didn't come up with any right or wrong answer, but it's like, oh, like Nandor said this, like that's a good element. Like, can I pull an element from my side, and can we get
yeah,
somewhere?
yeah. And if anything, I hope people who listen, you know, form their own opinion, and maybe we helped give people that opportunity to think about it in a different way.
Word.
I mean, it's not like we're I mean, at least me, like, speaking for myself, it's like I'm not here to tell you how things are done. It's like I'm just here to like learn about how things are done. And I think so many people approach topics as if they are experts when we're all just students, and we have to learn how to learn again, I guess.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Or at least like if you feel like you are an expert, still have the ability to listen, because
Yeah, yeah.
someone who's like might not even be in your field, or you might be like, this person has no idea what they're talking about. They have a
Yeah.
different experience though with it, and they might
Hmm.
drop a nugget where you're like, I didn't think about it like that, and I
Yeah.
see where you're coming from, and that's now going to help me with my expertise. Like whenever I talk with people about marketing, like I'm very involved with marketing, so I try to make it be like I know what I'm talking about. But sometimes someone will be like, "Listen, I don't know anything about marketing, but I don't like it when A, B, and C happens, and I don't
Hmm.
understand why." And I go, "Huh, that's I've never thought about it like that. I wonder why A, B, and C is a thing, and maybe I can take A, B, and C and take it back to what I do and be like, okay, like people don't like A, B, and C. How does that affect what I do?"
Yeah, well, and it can be so difficult. And when I was the working on my Substack about how to make a comic, it was honestly one of the most difficult things that I've written about, because um, I've so far removed from like the knowledge that I didn't have, that
Mm,
now I do have. So to like try to put myself in the shoes of someone who doesn't know what they're doing can be really difficult, because I'm like, yeah, but I have all this experience and all this knowledge, and so trying to like bring it back to basics and explain step 1, step 2, step 3 was way more difficult to articulate than I thought it would be, because there's so many other things that I'm thinking about in terms of how it relates to why you need to do this now rather than later, and what I've learned since then. So,
for sure.
um,
Yeah, like there's so many things now where it's like, man, that was like a no brainer. Like
yeah,
why did
yeah,
it
and
take me so long
like,
to do
why aren't you
this?
doing this? Like when someone's like, well, I'm doing this and this, and I'm like, no, like you need to do this,
Uh,
and you're sometimes maybe that can come across as like, um, I don't know, like in your face, or rude, but it's like you're trying to save them from making like the mistakes that you made. I guess it's almost like a parent and a child, or a teacher
I
and a
think it's
student.
kind. I think it's
You know,
kind. Like
yeah,
I'll say
yeah,
this, I'll say it again. Tony, get a website. Like seriously, like get a website. You are like you're missing out on sales while you sleep. Get a website. And I say that not out of malice. Like
well,
look,
that's something I have a Gumroad store, but I've wanted to make
but that's
like a
better.
Shopify
But
or
that's better
something.
than not, like at least I can buy your book when you don't have a campaign going.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
my thing. It's like if I want to buy or read Star Noir, I have to get it on a campaign.
hmm,
And some people don't want to jump on Kickstarter or make a profile. Some people just want an easy download of something. So like make it accessible. And I don't say that out of malice. Like let's make fun of this person. It's like, hey, like this will make you money. Like
yeah,
this will make you money if you do this stuff. And I'm like trying to save you time. It's like when people get mad at like, oh, why are you giving this advice? It's like semi rude. It's like, bro, I'm trying to say, I'm talking to you as of which, if I wish someone would have said these things to me, like
Yeah.
us. Like I wish we had talked
Yeah.
about those things in those like Facebook indie comic book conspiracy groups. Like I
Right.
wish like
Right.
those are the things that were discussed, because that would have saved so much time. I mean, I'm looking at my this is just like my like Shopify store. These are all just online. These are just digital sales. I haven't done anything. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and it's 283 orders. They were all $1. It was just my $1.80 book. I have a $1.80 download book. But like,
Well, hey, it's
I didn't do
$200, you know?
Yeah, and I
200
didn't
bucks.
have to, you know, that's going to get me a nice variant cover for a future campaign, and
Right.
I didn't have to fulfill the book physically. I wake up, there's like 10 orders, and you go, all right, cool beans. And so yeah, it's like there's people that can give advice, and you know, I don't know, always be learning. But let's end the show. Nandor, we'll have to get you to come on again, because we were able to talk for so long. And guys, go check out Seasons on Kickstarter. Go check out Foxhole Comics on Substack. Links are in the chat. And Nandor, we'll have to get you back on, man.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I thought we had a good talk. So no drawing happened, but talking happened.
Drawing never happens.
I know.
I will be drawing in a future like recorded video though soon.
Cool.
So like there's some drawing. I don't know what I was thinking when I did the channel. Like I can't draw and talk. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't, you know, I haven't played Master Duel in a while, but maybe if we do talk again, we could do a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel.
I'd have to like get my login again. I like
Dude, yeah, no, I haven't played in a while.
Oh,
but,
that's okay. I think the last time I played, I did it with a backer, and they try to pretend that they were new to playing, and I was like, how is it that I haven't played a card yet, but I'm about to lose?
Oh, I hate that. The worst thing you can do in Yu-Gi-Oh is make someone not play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the goal of every
you know?
player in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is how do I make it so you can't play the game?
Right. Yeah. It sucked. I used to do these tournaments, you know, and like I hated it when people would just stop me from being able to do anything I wanted to do. And I was just like, why do I even have this deck?
Yeah.
Like why do I even have?
You're like, I'm
gonna
play this card. They go, oh, Max C, and you're like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna play this card. They go, Ash Blossom. You go, okay, so there goes my turn. I can't do anything, and there goes all my setup cards. So my deck is useless now. So that's so funny. Yeah, we'll have to maybe I'll have to play it again. So all right, awesome guys, we're gonna end the stream. Peace out.
See you guys.